Space, the final frontier.
Bing, boom, bing,
These are the voyages of M-Class Podcast. I'm Jeff.
I'm the Music Man, Josh.
We used to say our last names, but fuck it.
Dude,
Not anymore.
We're just Jeff and Josh, man. There's no last names in the future.
There's no last names in the future. Look at Worf, Data, Spock,
Yeah.
Uhura.
Yeah.
You can't even blame that on it being like a fucking spaceman thing. Uhura's from Earth.
What is her last Nyota?
Her
Naomi?
first name is Nyota, according to like supplementary material and now the new movies.
Oh, that's right. Those fucking pieces of trash.
Yeah, officially she never had a first name.
Yeah,
ever.
I thought she was just supposed to have that. Like
She was like Prince or Cher.
Yeah,
She was Uhura.
but cooler. I said
a
it.
million times cooler.
Fight me. Prince is dead. Who cares?
Too soon, maybe? I don't know how people feel about that shit.
They loved him,
He was good.
but he's no Uhura.
No, he didn't go to fucking space,
I
did
never
he?
saw him do a fan dance. That's for fucking sure.
He probably did.
He probably did, actually. That dude was sexy as hell. He did a fan dance.
Oh, you know it. And he would have like distracted those guys just as much as Uhura if he did a fan dance.
It's gonna be a little loud here today because my windows are open because it's hot.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cold here, and I'm like only like a state away. What the fuck?
Well, my apartment gets hot, so I keep the windows. This is fucking boring. Nobody wants to know about this.
Everybody cares. Everyone cares.
It gets hot up here. It's like an attic.
Boring. On this episode of M-Class Podcast, we're gonna talk.
We're talking about HVAC, heating,
Yeah.
and ventilation.
If you need new HVAC in your home, contact us at 1-800-M-CLASS up your
M-Class
ass.
HVAC.
On this episode of M-Class Podcast, we're going to be talking about Star Trek Insurrection.
That's the 9th one.
This is the 9th episode of our podcast, coincidentally.
Oh shit! How did that work out that way?
I don't know. It all just lines up magically.
Super weird.
Some facts about this film
Let's read them.
is it was released in the year 1998.
What a great year! I was a sophomore in high school.
Didn't Independence Day come out that year?
I think 96 was Independence Day.
What was 98? Something.
Barbie Girl came out on the radio.
Yeah.
That might have been 97.
Aqua's Barbie Girl.
That might have been 97. The Dip by Freak Nasty, maybe? That was also 97.
I think that was 97, yeah.
Shit! What happened?
Dude,
Nothing happened in 98.
Don't try to school me on the Dip. I'm just fucking saying.
Fuck, I love The Dip.
Hell yeah. It's directed by Jonathan Frakes, and he actually does a really good job
Yeah,
with his directing duties.
yeah, he's a solid director.
Yeah.
Always.
Written by Michael Piller, and Rick Berman has writing credit again, even though I'm sure he didn't do jack shit.
Yeah, this is when we're gonna see a marked decline.
Yeah, it's all downhill from here. Like
It really is.
it's actually all downhill from the last movie. The last movie was the top of the hill,
Yeah.
and it just goes careening down on this motherfucker.
We're on the roller coaster ride now of downwardness.
Did you know?
Uh-oh, John Larroquette fact. John Larroquette fact. It's incoming.
This movie had a budget of $58 million, and it made $112.6 million.
That's pretty good.
So this is actually a fairly successful movie.
Yeah, I think this was riding the coattails of the last one, though.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
I think that
critics
people
did not like this movie.
It has a 6.4 on IMDb, which isn't terrible.
No, it's like 55% on Rotten Tomatoes or something.
That's about right. I would give it a 55%.
Yeah, that seems perfectly correct to me.
Fairly reasonable.
The movie itself, I'm gonna spoiler everybody. I'm not a big fan of. Not a big fan of this movie.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this one's not...
This is your most hated, isn't it? The most hated TNG film for you?
This one I like the least.
Yeah, I like Nemesis far less than this.
Yeah, we'll get there when we talk about Nemesis.
Yes.
But I feel like Nemesis has like some redeeming qualities. This has like limited redeeming qualities.
Oh, I don't know if I agree with that, Josh.
Dude, I don't
Differing opinions on a podcast.
Unheard of.
Who would listen to such a thing?
They're gonna run away from us now.
Nobody listens to this anyway.
They already did. They preemptively ran away from us.
Before we made the first episode, they were already running away. So this movie takes place during the Dominion War.
Yes, because it's like the second to last season of DS9.
Yeah.
There's some DS9 tidbits in this movie.
Yeah, Worf shows up and never explains why he's there. No one gives him a chance.
Well, he starts to explain it, and Picard's like, "Shut up, Mr. Worf. I have to fucking be a diplomat. Fuck you."
Worf's like, yes, sir.
I'll just go. I guess I'm work here now.
I guess this is my new home.
I hope that they take me back to my wife soon. Oh God, she's probably like, "Where are you, Worf?"
There's some spoilers related to that I was thinking about the whole time.
Oh, fuck them, dude. They got it. We'll get there, but they'll see it. If they didn't, they need to watch it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen DS9, you should absolutely watch it.
Yeah.
But anyway, the planet opens up on the white privilege planet.
Yeah, it's fucking
The Aryan wet dream world.
diverselessness.
Yeah, well,
planet.
there's diversity in that some people have brown hair.
Right. They're not all blonde, blue-eyed.
That's pretty diverse.
But there's a brown-haired person every now and then.
Once in a blue moon. It's like the fucking
No redheads either.
It's the cast of Beverly Hills 90210, the planet.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God, that's perfect.
It's just
I love
everybody's dressed in like late 90s fucking farmer fashion. I don't even know what to call it.
Future farmers. It's that future. It's that Star Trek future farmer thing that they love to do.
And
Because
like,
it's easy to make that stuff.
they're like fucking hanging out on their planet, just farming and having a good old time, being
Goofing off.
white as fuck.
Making pottery and shit, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck white people do.
Fucking leaving angry Yelp reviews.
Buying asparagus.
And we see that the Federation is studying them via like holographic and infrared technology.
Like in that episode of TNG where they go to that proto-Vulcan planet.
Yeah,
and it's the same.
Mintakans?
The Mintakans. Great
Yeah.
work. Great job.
That was a pat on the ass for anybody who couldn't see
That was
visual.
an internet ass pat. Good game. Good game.
Yeah, it's exactly like the Mintakans, and everything happens exactly like the Mintakans.
Yeah. Which, like, they should have just made that the movie. I'd watch the fuck out of that movie.
That would have been better.
Even if they just remade it, I'd be like, fuck it.
Yeah, this whole movie is basically an extended Star Trek season 2 TNG episode.
This is an episode of the show. Yeah, this does not deserve its own movie.
But the one thing I noted in my notes here is that they play like evil music. Like the soundtrack during the scene when the Federation appears is like nefarious as fuck.
Yeah, it's ominous. Because
And
like it's kind of creepy what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Even if they're not like, well, which we find out later. But even if they're not like knowledgeable of warp drive, like that's pretty violating. You know?
Yeah, I mean it's like studying a primitive culture or whatever.
Yeah, it's like,
we've
well,
done
it's
it throughout all of history, but it's
Right.
just there's an element of creepiness to it.
It's one thing though to like put the makeup on and surgically alter yourself and kind of send two people. It's another thing to like hollow out a fucking mountain in the middle of the night and like beam a bunch of fucking cloaked people down.
Yeah, it's creepy. It is. But it's like this whole movie paints a very, very nefarious picture of the Federation.
Yeah, that's the part I kind of don't mind about this movie though, because like the Federation, like I think there's a line that the bad guy says, what I forget his name, Ruafo, yeah, played by
Ruafo.
F. Murray Abraham. That guy, he's in everything.
Oh wow. Good job.
Dude, yeah, he says like, oh, the Federation, like everyone smells blood on the Federation. Like the Dominion War is going pretty bad. The Borg just attacked.
Yeah.
Like,
Side note though, like, how does living longer help the Federation whatsoever? Like, lasers still kill you.
well, it would give the Federation like an edge, right? Like everyone would want that, so they'd have to deal with the Federation. Kind of like he says, like it's like oil. Like everyone who has the oil is going to deal with the people with the oil.
I guess it's like that undermines the ideal of the Federation in general, like really heavily though. That like they fall prey to the same like gotta have the oil mindset that like primitive people fell prey to.
Yeah,
there's a lot of that in like later Star Trek stuff where people are no longer like evolved beyond petty human shit. We're like even more petty human shit.
Yeah. It kind of wraps around again. I don't know. Like,
sometimes I'm cool with it. Sometimes it works fine. Like, I had a discussion with somebody earlier, and it's like when it's small groups, like a pocket of the Federation that's like, we're gonna be petty fuckheads or whatever, and they're the ones that are doing all this shit. That's cool. But when the entire Federation is like, yeah, just fucking gas those fucking Baku. Who cares? Get rid of them.
Yeah. I guess, like, the thought... I feel like I'm already making excuses.
Don't take up for this film.
I guess the thought is that since it's, like, hidden inside of this nebula, that, like, they don't know what's going on or something.
Maybe.
Like, it's a weird... It's kind of a lame movie excuse, honestly.
Yeah, but what's his face? Admiral
from... what's it called? Admiral from The Matrix. Guy from The Matrix. I don't know what his name is.
Admiral Matrix.
Admiral Matrix. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, look his name up so I don't seem like as much of an idiot as I am right now anyway.
I can't find him.
We are the most professional podcast.
Oh my god, where the fuck is this guy?
Admiral
Doherty.
Admiral Doherty could be, for all we know, just making up that the Federation has agreed to this.
That's true, too.
But it's never specified if he is or not. It's just at the end of the movie, Riker's like, oh, by the way, the Federation heard about this, and they have some pretty strong questions for whoever did this or whatever.
It would have been better if he didn't have the authority of the Federation, honestly, and he was just going. Then the title plays two ways, right? Insurrection could be because, you know, the Enterprise crew basically commits mutiny. Yeah. And it could be because he's committing insurrection also.
And there's always talk about characters being out of character in some of these films, which is true. Yeah. But the Federation itself has a characterization that needs to be, solid. And this movie throws that out entirely so that our heroes can go rogue and be rebels.
It's like they got this idea in their head with like it being youthful rebellion, and they beat the shit out of that. Like they beat that horse hard, and it's like they don't have to fucking like act like morons. Like, you know what I mean? Like
they make a big scene of like Picard taking his pips off and all that stuff, and that's visually interesting. But it just makes the Federation out to be monsters,
right?
And I'm sure they felt like they needed to do something similar to the earlier films where, like, Kirk disobeys orders and goes to save Spock, or they go to save Kirk or whatever, but they had real good reasons for not wanting Kirk to do that shit. The Federation did. And this, they're just like, well, we want that fucking radiation, so...
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. And, like, Star Trek does that fucking George Lucas-y echo repeating poetry thing. They do that as much as Star Wars does.
It's like poetry. Every line rhymes the next.
Yeah. Like, and they do that a little bit in the next two movies, or the next movie especially. It's like, oh, this is this again. Yeah. and it's okay, and that's fine. But like,
it can be done well, and it can be done badly, which it was.
Yeah, it can be done better. But I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. This I don't know. It's going to be hard staying on the plot of this movie because the plot is, like, actually really boring.
Yeah, it's a plot we've seen in pieces in other Star Trek stuff, like, a billion times.
Yeah. I think you're supposed to be shocked when Data, like, is, like, in the suit and he's, like, rampaging through this town and, like, you're supposed to be like, what the fuck? Like, you're supposed to think he's, like, malfunctioning or something because he's got a fucked up neck. I don't know. Dude.
There's some, like, rules for Data that get introduced in this that are never mentioned before or after.
Like what?
If he's harmed, his morality subroutines take over 100% so that no one can take control of his brain or whatever. But guess how many times that happened?
Right.
In TNG.
Always.
Like, his morality subroutines never took over when he got hurt, ever.
Yeah, I don't know why that would be a thing. I don't know why that... Yeah, what would that matter?
I'm, like, nitpicking shit. But
nah, man, that's what we do here, man.
That is the podcast.
Yeah. You have to.
Where were we? Yeah, Data, like, rampages, right? And they're just firing phasers at him?
They're just, like... There's, like, 50 invisible suit-wearing Federation officers running through this fucking hamlet, like... And they're just fucking shit, and, like, they're, like, running into fruit carts. It's like it's like a fucking police chase, but, like, against a robot.
And the thing is, right, they blame all this shit on Data. Like, oh no, they found out about us because of Data. Data wasn't firing a phaser. You were.
Yeah, they fire, like, a phaser, like, within, like, 20 feet of those kids. Like,
yeah, they almost hit them twice.
Yeah, like, I hope that shit's on stun, man. I don't know what even a stun would do to a kid. Who knows?
Stun might kill him, for all we know.
You hit him in the head or something, they're gonna die from that.
Jesus. But, like, Data goes crazy, quote unquote, in the exact manner which will show the Baku that the Federation is there. And we're not, as an audience, are not supposed to put one and one together,
right,
and figure out what's happening with him,
right.
But he shoots a mountain, and the Federation appears, and there's a scene that would have been really hilarious to me. Is like they come to the window and look at the Baku, and the Baku look at them, which is funny in general that they're all just kind of like,
yeah,
we're seen. But if like one of them would have waved a little bit,
that would have been great. That would be really fucking, and that's funny as shit.
I'm writing a fucking comedy movie. They're trying to be
dude.
serious.
This movie is a fucking comedy.
There's
movie.
A lot of jokes in this movie.
There's a fucking million jokes in this movie.
And like, Worf shows up.
Yeah, so they're on the Enterprise, and the Enterprise is like in a different part of the wherever the fuck.
Yeah, they're meeting midget lizard people.
Yeah, they're first contact meeting some folks, some smallies, and they have to dance later. That's what I gathered.
They have to remember their name, which is apparently really difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. This is like I do like stuff like this. I wish Star Trek kind of dealt with more of this stuff, honestly. Yeah. What I hate, and I fucking mean hate, and I'm just warming up for the new film. I fucking hate that bullshit that they do in the beginning of each of these new movies. I fucking hate it.
What's that?
That shit, like, with the little monsters in the third fucking new movie.
You didn't like that?
I fucking hate that shit. It's so dumb.
I liked it.
The second movie, oh my god.
Well, we're not talking about that right now.
But
the second movie is fucking garbage.
I feel like this is like the real Star Trek, because like Star Trek's like they're not all like swashbuckling meeting new species. Like sometimes they have to do boring diplomatic stuff, and that's like, I don't know, like that's kind of neat to me. Like it's real.
It's really cool to me because like that's how we should be solving our problems.
Right.
Is like meeting somebody face to face and talking it out and shit.
Right. You don't go to their planet and like set a fucking cold fusion bomb, quote unquote, whatever the fuck that means.
Dumb as fuck. Like I thought you were talking about the scene in Beyond with the little guys.
I hate
I'm fine
that shit.
with that. Like I like that because at least they're making a real effort for diplomacy. It turns into a dumb action scene.
And then it's but then it just turns into a huge joke with that they're small, and it's like, ugh. It's like, I don't understand. Whatever, we'll get there.
It's fairly soon. We'll get there fairly soon. But they're trying to fucking diplomat.
Yeah,
with these guys, do some diplomacy.
They're gonna be in the Federation. Like they want them in the Federation.
Yeah, and Admiral
because they
Doherty,
need all the allies they can get.
Yeah, even if they only have they can only go warp 1.
Which, like, right. Like,
what are they going to do to help you? But
like, they're not helping you. You're helping them.
Yeah.
Actually, you're bringing them into, like, a nightmare.
I didn't even think of that.
You would think,
way.
well, that would be, like, an interesting take, right? Like, in a time of war, the Federation can't admit new members because, like, it would actually harm them. The Prime Directive works both ways, right?
Yeah.
It's to protect the Federation and protect the race that's joining.
I didn't even think of it that way, but you're 100% right.
Like,
Maybe
they should
just
suspend
being brought
it.
in as like a resources type of thing.
Yeah, maybe they're just starting the process or something.
Yeah,
I
like
don't-
they're being brought in because they have like dilithium deposits that they're
Maybe.
willing to share,
Yeah.
so that the Federation can like give them stuff in return.
Right.
Maybe
that
it's
might
not
be.
like we're gonna put you on the front lines kind of thing.
Right. Time to draft you.
Although the Dominion would go straight to their planet and fuck
Yeah, the
them up if
Dominion
it would
doesn't
stop
care.
the dilithium flow.
That's what I mean. Like, it's like you make them a target now, and that's not good.
No, it's not.
So I would think, like, I mean, that's what I would do. If I was in the Federation Council, I'd be like, we can't admit any new people until this shit's settled.
Well,
'Cause they'll just
apparently, in this movie, the Federation Council is like straight up like, let's fuck these guys off this planet so we can steal all their radiation.
Yeah.
So
Or at least some of them seem to be
Yeah.
with that. I don't know.
But they get a subspace transmission from Admiral Doherty, who's like, hey,
Shannon Doherty.
Admiral Shannon Doherty calls. It says, hey, remember me from 90210? She was on that one, right? That
She
the
was,
one?
yeah.
Yeah, I know my fucking shit. I know it. I almost said Melrose Place, but no one knew.
Is she dead? I feel like she's dead.
I don't think she's dead.
Shannon Doherty.
Oh my god. This man has Google and he ain't waiting.
Shannon. This is a different Shannon. Wait, what?
There are multiples?
No, this is her. Wait, whoa. What? No. Something's fucked. I fucked up. We'll look it up later.
Okay, so Admiral Doherty wants Data's schematics because Data's gone nuts. He's stolen a Sona ship.
Yeah, it's like a super beefed up shuttlecraft.
Yeah, and he's stolen that shit, and now he's like attacking anybody that gets near the planet.
Yeah.
Again, we're not supposed to realize why.
And the Baku have taken hostages of the Federation people, supposedly.
Supposedly. And so our heroes,
Our heroes.
the Enterprise E crew,
Yeah.
are like, we're done fucking putting out brush fires, right? We're gonna go to the Briar Patch, ironically, and we're gonna see what's up with Data. We're gonna try and save the day. And I guess they just boot the fucking little people off the ship, and they're just like, fuck off.
I guess so. I guess they just say, like, we're done here. Go home. We'll call you.
Yeah, don't call us, we'll call
We'll
you.
call you. Yeah.
But as they get closer to the planet, Worf goes through puberty.
Yeah. They're in the nebula at this point.
Yeah, like Worf gets a big pimple,
He gets like a nasty pimple, like a big one.
and everybody makes fun of him for it.
Yeah.
And then he bops his noggin when he gets out of bed.
Yeah, he wakes up late. He's
Like
late.
he's a big like joke in this movie.
Yeah, he's a fucking punching bag. Like, dude, I don't know why after DS9 he wanted to come back to the ship, because they fucking hazed the fuck out of him during this movie.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's like college, man. It's like he's rushing the frat, and they're making him do all kinds of shit. They're just beating him down, man.
I wouldn't go back to that shit, especially
Fuck
when
no.
I was married to Dax.
Yeah. Well, you know what happens with that.
Yeah, well, spoilers.
Whoopsies.
Worf fucking dies.
Somebody didn't renew their contract.
So they go to the planet and they see that Data is like flying his shit around, right?
Yeah.
And he's pewing anybody that comes near the planet. So they take a shuttlecraft. And they like it's only Picard and Worf who takes the shuttlecraft as well. Like nobody takes a second one or
Yeah, there's no backup plan. Their plan is like, we'll get him, and the Admiral's like, if you don't get him, you have to kill him. And Picard's like, all right.
Picard's like, I'll totally do that.
Right,
He
wink.
crosses his fingers behind his back.
Yeah. And he winks at the camera.
And
There's a lot of that in these movies.
yeah, there is a lot of camera winking moments. But they're trying to get through to Data or whatever, and Data's just shooting the shit out of him.
Yeah, he just like flies up and just starts shooting them.
So they play music for him. Like
They play HMS Pinafore.
Yeah. And they all sing it, and it's actually pretty fun.
It's pretty good. That's pretty decent. Because
Yeah.
that's fucking Star Trek. Like, that's TNG as shit.
It really is.
Like, I was like, okay, this is like a TNG thing. That's cool.
So they dock with him.
Yeah, sneak up under him.
And
it's all sneaky.
There's like a really funny moment where, like, I've seen the movie before, but it always gets me because, like, Data gets up out of his chair and starts running towards Worf, and there's this moment in your head where you're like, Worf, you can't fucking fight him.
Right, you're gonna get fucked up.
You're gonna get obliterated, dude.
That dude is strong as shit. He
Worf
snapped the Borg's neck in half.
Yeah. Worf is just like pressing the button to shut him off over and over and over.
He's like, beep beep boop boop, beep beep boop boop. It's like, oh shit.
And if he finally like knocks him out before he gets to him. And they take him back to the ship and run diagnostics. But Admiral Doherty's like, all right, take your android and get the fuck out.
Yeah, get out of here. Yeah.
But Picard's like, well, no, we're going to go down to the planet's surface and get those hostages back. And
Gotta get our peeps back.
Admiral Doherty's like, well, you got your 12 hours.
Yeah, he's being like not so subtly a dickhead about it.
Yeah, he's pretty much like, look, you got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But they go down to the planet and the Baku are like...
They're having a fucking picnic.
Yeah, the Baku...
They're having a barbecue.
Dude, I fucking hate the Baku.
They're awful. They
are preachy, holier-than-thou assholes.
Yeah, they're cocksuckers. Like, they're white-ass cocksuckers, man.
Like, we don't use technology because it's evil. If you put technology in your hands, you become one of them.
Yeah, we don't need it. And it's like, yeah, but, like, yeah, okay.
Like, yeah, you live on, like, a farming planet. Of course you don't need it.
Yeah. All right.
Are we gonna be flying around in a fucking, like, Futurama wooden spaceship?
Oh, but don't worry. The people with spaceships will save you. I guess you don't need spaceships, huh? But don't worry. We have them. We'll save you this time. Yeah, fuck you. Spaceships rule. Eat my shit.
Yeah,
Baku.
suck a dick. The Baku are fucking terrible.
Boku. Whatever the fuck.
I hate them. And they're just like dickheads, right? Like, they show up and they're like, hey, you guys are holding our people hostage, right? And they're like, no, we don't have hostages. We're too evolved.
We're too
that.
enlightened. It's like, all right.
we find mayonnaise to be too spicy.
Oh, shit. So they're my grandma?
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude, yeah. I don't know. They rub me the wrong way.
I hate them.
They're
and
annoying.
then they fucking, like, Troy and Riker, right? Like, Riker wants some fuck. He wants it bad.
Yeah,
and
they're getting all horned up.
Troy's like, yuck, you have a beard.
Yeah, she kisses him, and she says, yuck.
And she, like, shaves his beard off or whatever, and this is like a fucking hate crime.
Yeah, this
beardies.
Is like a slap in the face. Like, and the prophecy is held true. Because the next two movies, he doesn't have a beard. And they're not good. It's the growing the beard.
It's funny that like the beginning of this movie is actually pretty good.
And then he shaves his
beard and
the rest of it sucks.
And then Nemesis is also shit. And then they didn't make any more TNG movies.
Yeah. It's the prophecy, man.
You can't live
shave that fucker off.
You cannot not have the beard. It has to exist.
Yeah.
I felt personally attacked.
If we shave our beard, no one will literally listen to this.
Yeah, it won't even be a joke anymore.
Yeah.
All of our podcasting power exists within our beards.
That's where all my power exists. That's my dragon's soft underbelly.
If you fucking shave my beard, it's like Samson with his hair. I just become completely depowered.
I'm like Achilles. I got an arrow in my beard. I'm dead.
Anyway.
Let's take a break. Real quick.
Okay, we will take a break and we'll be right back after these messages.
Reverse thrust.
Hailing frequencies open.
Scotty, we need more power. I can't hold it much longer, Captain.
Release missing the Colonel's signal, sir.
Well, what was Spock's order?
His usual, Captain. The two-piece combo.
Okay, give me a two-piece combo.
Aye, sir.
No, wait. Make it 3 pieces. Leave them up, Scotty. Status report.
Close call, Captain. Almost lost the coleslaw on that one.
Captain's log, stardate 2453.87. The crisis was averted, our cravings satisfied. The chicken was excellent.
Take us out of here, Mr. Sulu. Warp factor 2. Hey, who took my fries?
And we're back. Buy that product.
Get that. Do it.
I don't know what that was.
I actually put commercials in the last one.
Did you?
I put a commercial for TNG toys, action figures.
Man, I'll buy those.
I have a few of them.
Do you?
I got a Riker and I've got a Data.
Man, I don't have any Star Trek figures. I've got like a little model of the Enterprise A.
Oh, that's cool though.
And I've got like, the props and shit, like a phaser and
I don't have a phaser.
I'm trying to. Speaking of that, I'm actually going to interrupt our podcast for a minute.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say. Cool. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about. There is a Twitter account called No Context M Class. Not run by either of us. It's run by my friend Niall. I didn't really know him beforehand, but if you do things to show that you like me, I'll become your friend.
Yeah, that's how it works.
His name's Dakota.
That's a cool name.
Hopefully he doesn't mind that I said that. But he is running a cool contest for fan art for M-Class Podcast.
Yeah.
And if you submit your fan art to at No Context M-Class, I think it's called.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, I'll look up the fucking rules and tell me.
No context M-Class. That's it.
Yeah.
At No Context M-Class.
If you at that at him and like give it a nice hashtag.
Yeah.
Call it fucking hashtag Star Trek, hashtag M-Class Podcast,
Yeah.
hashtag No Context Gives.
There's a bunch of rules.
Yeah, you'll find them on our Twitter. That's at M-Class Podcast. Mm-hmm. If you submit your fan art, 2 weeks, so it's April 6th is the last day for it. You can win like $100 fucking worth of Star Trek
There are
merchandise.
some fucking dope fucking things. I want them.
Fucking Josh is gonna enter the fan art contest.
I want that tricorder bad.
Yeah, me too.
That tricorder is the shit.
You'll win a Diamonds toy replica phaser, tricorder, communicator, and metal command badge pin
From the original series.
Yeah, it's over $100 worth of shit.
That pin is cool. I have a TNG. I have a Deep Space Nine pin. That's cool.
Dude,
that pin is cool.
I can't enter the contest myself, or I
know.
would, because
I
I
would
want
too.
all that shit really bad.
That tricorder is the shit. Like, that's dope as fuck.
Dude, I want that so fucking bad.
But it's awesome that he did this. Like, we didn't
Yeah.
ask him to do it.
Like-
He just did it.
He just came to me and was like, "Hey Jeff, is it cool if I spend like my hard-earned fucking money to promote your podcast?"
Yeah.
And I went, I guess.
Guess I can't say no.
We really fucking appreciate it. Hopefully, people will listen to our podcast and like enter it. Because
Yeah.
if they don't, I'll feel really, really bad.
Yeah, they should. I mean, dude, like, if you enter it, you might win. Like,
Yeah,
you should enter it.
yeah. It's not like the quality of your fan art. It's like just how neat it is. Like, it's not
Yeah.
whether it's done super well. It's just how neat.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. Doesn't have to be.
Now back
perfect.
to our regularly scheduled program.
We had a commercial for ourselves. That's our first ourselves commercial.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Holy
9 episodes in.
fuck.
Someone's killing a car outside of my house right now.
Where the fuck were we?
Fuck. Where
Yeah,
were
they
we?
shaved
Baku-
Riker's beard, right? And then
Yeah.
the like Picard and the Baku, including Anej,
Anej,
who I spent the entire movie trying to figure out if she was married to the guy she lives with his son,
Yeah,
or not.
It's weird. Like,
But apparently she's not.
She's single. They say it later.
Yeah. But the whole movie, I'm like, Picard, are you trying to break up a family right now?
Yeah, whatever, man. These people live forever. Like, that family was doomed anyway.
I guess.
You if you're lucky, you got like 50 years with somebody before you start hating them.
And that's the worst part about it, is you just live like hundreds of years after you divorce in the same town. There's only 600 of you.
Like, you better fucking, like, be sure, dude.
Maybe people just don't get married because of that.
Yeah, maybe they just have, like, fuck parties.
Maybe. I would.
Yeah, like swingers, like key parties.
Except you don't even need keys for it because nobody's married. You just go there and
They don't have cars either, so what do they got keys to?
You call that an orgy, I believe.
Also, like, what's the line? Where's the line in the sand on the technology? Are they, like, Amish?
They don't seem
like,
to have any.
Is it like they can have a phone, but the phone's outside? Like the Amish do?
They don't seem to have any, and they're so holier than thou about it too. It's like your friend who doesn't watch TV.
It's your friend who is a vegan now. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's your friend that does CrossFit.
It's your friend who did PX90 one summer and it was like better than you, and you're like, yeah, great, fuck off, Luke.
It really
Fuck
is.
me, you, Luke.
It really is your vegan friend, though. It really is. Like, oh, you eat that? You know that's bad for you, right?
You know what's in it?
Yeah,
you know how many pigs die a year? I don't know, probably a lot because they're delicious.
Yeah, however many I need to eat. That's how many die a year.
How many are in this fucking pork that I'm eating, this pork thing? Because I'm gonna eat more of it.
Maybe we could kill more of them so I can have more pork. Is that possible?
Pig genocide, man.
Anyway, they go, I forget why they go out to the lake. They're following, like, the signal, right? They're like searching around trying to figure out
where Data got fucked up at.
Yeah.
They figure out that Data got whacked out at some point in the day, and they ask the kid, because the kids were out doing kid stuff. And they're like, can you tell us where you saw the Day of Thunder with a robot? And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, can you just say, like, yesterday? It was yesterday.
What's a robot?
Yeah, right.
What the fuck is the Day of Thunder?
Speak English.
Jesus. And, like, they go out to the lake or whatever, and they sense radiation. So Data, like, just walks underwater, and all the Baku are like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, and of course, there's like a little kid, because there always has to be one, right?
Yeah, there's always a child, because
Little
that ups
fucking
the stakes.
kid, you gotta have some sort of weird adult male small child relationship with.
Yeah, yeah.
And he comes back and he's like, hey, I know what the radiation is. And he drains the lake without even asking anybody.
Yeah, so they have a dam, I guess.
Yeah, which is technology.
Which, like, fine, fuck it, they have a dam. And I know this is like the Plinkett review of this talks about he drains the lake, and then there's like a boat and a dock.
Yeah, was that
still
underwater?
At the lake? Yeah, like what? Like the boat can't be underwater because
they're
it's a
still
boat.
standing at the same place too. Is the thing?
Yeah, like where did this lake go, and how? And like the cloaked ship that's under the lake, which like it's a fucking cloaked ship. Why would you put it under something? It's cloaked, like it's hidden. Who cares?
Yeah, why did you put it in the water anyway? Like, a shift of the water and somebody could fucking see something's wrong down there. Why didn't you just put it on, like...
Put it, like, on the top of the mountain or something. Put it on the other side of the fucking planet.
Yeah, but no, it's at the edge of town in the lake.
Yeah. Put it on the Arctic Circle. Like, no one's going up there.
But, you know, they get in a boat or whatever, and Anij gets in the boat, and she says, I'm going with you. And then she just sets her fucking dumb ass down. She doesn't even pick up an oar or anything.
She just, like, weighs them down slightly, because, like, now I gotta push this bitch around.
I'm like, Jesus, this is definitely a fucking middle-aged white woman. You can tell.
Dude, she's like... Dude, exactly. She's like these Bucks County, like rich Bucks County white women that like hang around here, and it's like, lady, come on, do me a favor.
Just stop being a bitch.
We're all at the grocery store waiting in line. It sucks. Get over it.
At this point, I wrote down a note. I'm barely into this movie, and I'm already tired of, we know what technology is, you fucking pigs.
Right, they pull that in this movie like 6 times, and it's like, yeah, no, we got it.
Yeah, I get that you used to have technology.
Yeah.
You said that already.
Yeah, you told me. Yeah, I heard about it.
And we live perfectly with nature and know everything about everything.
If you live perfectly with nature, why do you have a dam?
But, oh no, I can't swim!
Oh, right. So, yeah, so they find the cloaked ship.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking rectangle. Like, it's not even a ship.
No, they call it a ship, but it's like a TOS ship that's just a big rectangle.
It's a big square. Yeah.
And they go inside, and it's a perfect replica of the Baku village, except there's a guy with a gun in it.
Yeah, for some reason.
Like, why
His
was
job
he
is
there?
to sit in there and wait.
If somebody comes here, just shoot him.
Like, was he the pilot? Like, was he...
Maybe. I don't know, but they just fucking kill him? They don't even, like, stun him. They just murder him.
Oh, they fucking kill him, and they don't do anything about him. They just leave him there.
They leave his corpse in the ship.
Yeah.
And Picard says computer in simulation, and the computer's not, like, voice code not recognized. It's like, alright.
It just does it. Which would be a huge red flag, because, like, why would it listen to everybody?
That's a mistake. That is a rookie mistake when you're programming something, that you just allow it to be anyone can do anything to it.
Yeah, because, like, what if somebody, like, just randomly said those words when they capture the Baku to put them in there? And then their whole world comes to an end. Like,
what if they just said computer and then said something else afterwards?
and they went, "Pew-doo-doo." Yeah, and it, like, gave them, like, a computer, a shirt. And it said, it just, like, replicates them a shirt.
It's like if he's like, we gave up all technologies. We gave up something like your computer, your phasers, and the computer's like, beep, boop, boop, and a phaser appears in midair.
Replicates a phaser. Yeah. That's dumb.
It's
That's real
smart.
dumb.
It's really not smart. But at this point, we get another shot of Riker without his beard, and god damn, he looks rough at that age without a beard.
Well, first I wanted to talk about the 3 jokes in a row. I can only remember 2 of them.
Okay.
But they do the inflation device joke.
Which is fucking weird that's a joke in this movie.
It's so out of place. It's the strangest joke.
It's like
It reminds me of like a George Lucas joke. Like
it's like a parody joke, like a Spaceballs joke.
Dude, it's like a Spaceballs joke. Yeah.
I don't get that at all.
And then it cuts. I should have written it down. I'm fucking terrible at this. I was at a party. I'm sorry. But then it cuts to Data and Riker, and Data sees that Riker has shaved for the first time in like 10 years, and he's like, smooth as a baby's or android's bottom. Hey, Data, and like they go and do something, and then Data's like, may I touch your face? And he like rubs against, like he touches it. And then he shakes his head like, no, it's not smoother than an android's bottom. And it's like,
it's not smoother than my ass, Riker.
That's a funny joke. And then there's a third joke. I don't remember what it is offhand.
I don't either.
But there's 3 right in a row. And it's like, guys, you guys space that shit out in a movie. Like, comedic relief needs to be, like, spaced out.
Is this
like,
a comedy movie now?
Yeah. Am I watching a fucking farce?
It's the Zucker's brother movie?
The Zucker's brother? Dude, I'm like, I gotta know where I'm like looking it up right now. I'm opening it up. I need to know what this third joke is.
Oh my god. But it's like, why did he shave his beard? Was it just because, like, Jonathan Frakes was tired of having to have a beard? So they did a whole scene about it?
I don't know. Like, see, that's the thing about having a beard, though, is that it's easier to have a beard than it is to not have a beard.
Yeah. Once you have a beard, you realize, holy shit, I don't have to shave anymore. This is awesome.
It's the shit. And shaving, like, for me, like, I hate it. My skin is so sensitive.
Oh,
like,
yeah, right around, like, the bottom of my neck.
Yes.
It's like, if I shave right there, I just bleed every single time.
Dude, my jawline, like, it gets, like, fucking razor burn, like, crazy. Yeah. It's fucking sucks.
Like run underneath
women who
lip.
shave their legs, dude, like, man, you guys fucking...
Yeah.
You're holding it down, because that shit sucks, man. Like,
unbelievably impressed with all of you for that shit, because
you don't have to do it.
If society was like, yo, it's disgusting that you men have hairy legs, I would also be just fucking protesting that shit every
I would
year,
never do that. I would never shave my legs.
Yeah, you ladies don't have to shave your legs if you don't want to. I understand completely.
I mean, I'll wax my balls, my dick and balls, but I ain't shaving no legs.
Yeah.
That's an android's dick, huh, Data?
You got so much hair on your dick, do you?
Dick and balls. It gets out of control in the wintertime. It just goes everywhere.
Your body's like, oh no, it's cold. I gotta protect these balls.
I'm like from like Viking culture, so like it's just hair.
We're learning a lot about Josh on this episode of M Class Podcast.
Well,
we're getting an inside look at the real Josh.
we're gonna do a captain's chair with us one day, where we just talk about ourselves.
Nobody wants to hear
saw
about
an
me.
elephant.
Did you know that elephants vibrate when you feel them, when you touch them, when they're happy?
I never know what it is. You always have to save me on it.
Shatner's so weird.
Yeah, he's crazy. He's a crazy dude.
Did you find the third joke?
No, I got talking about shaving legs, and hold on. Look at you.
It's gonna be a 6-hour-long episode this time, boys.
Hold on. You even like gave me some like filler there to like fill the time, and
That's the problem with filler, though, is if it gets like interesting, you lose track of what you're doing and start joining in.
That's exactly what I just did. I gotta click it. I gotta turn this volume down. It's gonna be loud as fuck. What the fuck is going on with this shit? Come on.
I'll give you some more filler because, like I said, I spent so much of this movie trying to figure out if Anij was actually married to the guy or not. Because they live together.
Yeah.
He has a son. They live together and they stand next to each other the entire film. Like, I guess
they're always around each other, and it's like, what? What are you doing?
And Picard's like having like a romantic midnight walk. It feels like at some point in the writing of this movie, Picard was gonna like cuck the fuck out of this guy, and that was what the film was gonna be about. Like, and at some point, somebody picked up Michael Pillar's script and was like, "What the fuck, dude? We can't put this in a Star Trek movie.
Yeah,
we'll just make her not married."
Oh, they do the pimple joke. That's what it is.
Yeah, the pimple.
They do the zit joke with Data and Picard in the transporter room.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
3 in a row with that shit.
And then it could be 4 in a row because then Picard starts cha-chaing, fucking sashaying all over those goddamn quarters.
And I get it's supposed to be because they're like young and full of energy.
Yeah, they're all youthful.
They're being like empowered by the planet or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's silly.
It's goofy.
The cha-cha didn't bug me that much,
though. It doesn't bother me, but because it's
like
Picard.
The rapid fireness of it is really poorly paced.
Yeah.
That's a good way to describe this movie in general, is it's very poorly paced.
Yeah, it's just not constructed well.
But
and not a lot of different things are happening. Like where in the last movie you have basically like 3 different stories going on simultaneously. You have the Enterprise, you have Data in the engineering room with the Borg, and you have on the planet. And this is like, there's on the planet, and then kind of in space, there's stuff happening later.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, we skipped over a couple things. Like, we mentioned before that the Sona are partnering up with the Federation.
Right.
The Sona have figured out some sort of a technology to harvest the radiation coming from the planet's rings.
It comes from the rings, right? And it has to, they have to get it from the rings. And, like, they kind of...
It's not explained. Like, Admiral Doherty is like, it's above my intelligence level.
Well,
I just don't need to.
They say, like, because, like, they're like, why can't the Sona just live on the planet? Like,
which
on
makes,
the other...
Yeah, they're like, they're gonna die soon. They
they're like, they need it now. And they'll be dead in, like, 15 years
But he's like, why can't you just take the radiation from the nebula around the planet, the Briar Patch? And he's like, oh, well, they have to take it from the rings, and I don't really know why.
Yeah, he says, it has something to do with something. And it's like, okay.
Just hand-waved it, of course.
Sure. Hand-wave it like the Worf being there thing.
Absolutely. There's a lot of that in this movie.
Yeah,
But the leader of the Sona is named Ruafo.
Yeah.
Which is a really bizarre name for a villain. Like, it's not threatening at all.
Not to be confused with the Lost Boy Rufio and also the awesome early 2000s punk band Rufio.
Both better choices.
Rufio is dope.
Rufio is just dope all around.
Yeah, and he bleeds from his head a lot. He's got a head wound.
Screams and just like spurts blood out of his
head.
head.
It's disgusting. So they're dying. So like they're old as fuck and they're just like super dying.
They have like disgusting like skin stretched out over their face and like stapled to their skulls.
Yeah, I feel like they were going for some kind of like plastic surgery commentary or something. Like
maybe it was about that time when
Yeah.
it was like getting real out of control.
Yeah, and like that's like fine, like whatever, but like it's a little right? Because like it's a little Hollywood. Because it's like people around where I live like don't get fucking plastic surgery.
No,
like
that's
that. You know what I
a
mean?
Hollywood thing.
Yeah, especially in like the late '90s, like people weren't getting like they weren't just like living in the middle of nowhere, being like, "I'll get some Botox." Like people weren't doing that shit.
Yeah, people do that shit now.
Yeah, they do.
But like Picard just walks all night, I guess, until the sun rises.
Yeah, he's just like. I guess that's another thing, like, because when you're a kid, you can just stay up all night, and you're in love, right? And you get that feeling of, like,
yeah,
I can take over the world.
I don't know what any of that's like. But I was never a child or happy.
Or in love.
My wife is gonna love hearing this episode.
I mean, I didn't say
Like Picard sees Geordi like standing up watching a sunset.
Yeah.
And Geordi's like, my eyes have fully regenerated. It's actually like a really touching scene.
Yeah, it's really, he pulls it off really well.
Yeah, and he has like tears in his eyes as he's watching the sunrise for
Yeah.
the first time in his life. It's really beautiful.
Because his eyes basically just grow back inside of his fucking head,
Yeah,
which is fucking terrifying.
it's as long as you don't notice it happening, it's fine.
Yeah.
But the next scene is like Admiral Doherty and Ruafo like go to see Picard, and like Picard's like, oh, you know, we're gonna fucking go down to the planet. We found the holo ship or whatever. And Doherty's like, hey, Ruafo, wait outside. I gotta talk to him. Ruafo goes, no.
Yeah, he gets fucking mad like a child.
And he just like bursts blood and starts like running his mouth, and then he leaves anyway. And
Yeah.
I guess Doherty's like, well, that's what I wanted him to do, I guess.
I guess that was worth it.
And Doherty goes through the whole like exposition. He's exposition man in this
Yeah,
film.
he's the here's what's happening.
And he tells all the, like, you know, there's going to be a thermolytic reaction. We're going to get the fucking, the radiation,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck it's called. I wrote it down.
He's got a cool, like, hundreds of years ago, oil made a bunch of, what does he call them, thugs into world powers, and Warp Drive made a bunch of thug Romulans into an empire, and it's like kind of a cool.
Like he has good reasoning or whatever, but he's missing the forest for the trees and this reasoning where like they're
totally
still thugs.
Like you said, it's totally against the Federation. Like the Federation is built to prevent exactly this stuff. Like that's why there is a Federation, so this doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know.
And Doherty's playing verbal chess, right? He thinks he's a chess master.
He's playing 27D Seinfeld theme Monopoly, like Trump apparently supposedly does.
Jesus Christ. And fucking I'm gonna ignore that for a minute. But like he's playing verbal chess and Picard just checkmates him so fucking easy.
Yeah.
Like he's like, yeah, who would even want to live in the Briar Patch? And Picard's like, the Baku.
The Baku. Yeah. It's like, fuck.
And Doherty's like,
Yeah.
I guess I got nothing to say. It's called metaphasic radiation, by the way.
Oh, the metaphasic radiation, yes.
But yeah, it's like they talk about the Dominion War, the Cardassians, the Borg, and how like the metaphasic radiation is the answer to their war or whatever.
Yeah, it'll make them. I think I know what you're gonna.
I still posit that guns kill you, regardless of how long you live.
Yeah, and the Dominion doesn't care because
No.
the Dominion is run by the shapeshifters who live forever. And then they just clone the fucking the soldiers and the Vorta. Like they don't care.
You still have the same amount of Federation officers.
Yeah.
It's just if they don't get shot, they'll live longer. That's it.
Again, I think the idea is that people would flock to them to save their life.
Probably.
Like, even the Cardassians would think twice now. They'd be like, whoa, the Federation has this technology. Like, maybe we made a mistake. We shouldn't be allies with the Dominion. You know what I mean? Like, that, I think, is the idea. It's convoluted, though, and it's not a guarantee. Like, you're betting with a good hand, but there's no guarantee.
I understand where they're coming from as well, that it's 600 people.
Yeah.
But it's like you're making a deal with the devil here as well.
That's exactly what it is.
Like,
yeah.
the Sona, they talk about the Sona earlier in the movies, that they've, like, conquered 2 planets and turned them into, like, a slave race.
Yeah, they have, they make the drug, the Dominion drug, the Ketracel White.
Yeah, Ketracel White, and they use subspace weaponry.
They're gangsters. They're like fucking gangsters. They're like the fucking North Korea. Like,
yeah, they do a lot of shit.
They're unpredictable as fuck.
Yeah. They do a lot of shit that's absolutely outlawed by the Khitomer Accords, the, like, Federation Charter, everything.
Yeah.
And
the
yet they're
subspace
still
weapons
working
are
with them.
illegal. Like, they're super illegal.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, it's dumb. Admiral Darty's a moron.
He really is. But, Doherty's like, well, I'm ordering you. Just do it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's alright.
And he says, you could file whatever protest you want. Right. By the time it goes through, it'll be too late anyway.
We'll already have done it, yeah.
So Picard takes his rank pips off.
And he gets fucking in his hottest future shirt.
His future shirt that just has, like, a weird, like, oval for the neck, like, really wide.
The collar is like a trapezoid.
Yeah.
It's like a weird, like, parallelogram collar.
He has a weird trapezoid collar and a regular-ass JCPenney catalog brown leather jacket.
He's got a sweet leather jacket, like fucking Wolverine style.
Yeah. But, like, I guess, the Sona do all these disgusting treatments, right?
Yeah.
Where they get their faces stretched and all this other shit.
To keep themselves alive, yeah.
Disgusting.
They get injections and shit.
They're disgusting.
They make me sick.
And I fucking hate them. And I spit on them. But I guess their plan is that they're going to... And this is something that I'll give the Sona that doesn't make any sense with their characterization.
Yeah.
I guess they're nicer than they appear. They want to beam up or, like, take up the Baku. They don't want to kill him.
Right. Well, we don't know why yet.
Yeah, we don't know why. It's revealed later.
Yeah.
But, even then, right, is, like, they're so bitter and angry and hate-filled.
Yeah.
Is, like, they go a long time with shit going wrong, and they're still just like, no, we're gonna beam them up.
Right. They could, like, honestly just go kill them. Which is, like, what happens in real history. People just kill the other people. Like, that's what happens.
They don't take them prisoner and relocate them.
Yeah, they don't play grab ass with them, right? They're sort of just like...
Governments do. Governments relocate people.
Yeah, well, then you give them fucking smallpox blankets and send them on a march, right? Yeah. Like, that's what happens.
Welcome to our comedy podcast.
Well, it is a Star Trek, and this is the most comedy movie of them all.
Yeah, it's so hilarious.
Genocide.
So the Picard goes to the captain's yacht. He's changed into his JCPenney catalog
we get to see
vest.
the yacht. This is the first time with the yacht.
It's called the Cousteau.
Is that what it's called?
It's called the Cousteau.
That's pretty sweet. I didn't know that.
I had to look that up before. I was trying to remember what I looked up. But, so he's got, like, all these containers that are full of, like, explosives and, like, 1 billion rifles.
Yeah, he's got, like, a fucking bazooka.
He's got, like, the Super Nintendo Super Scope and shit. Like, he's just outfitted. And
he's got a virtual boy. Which, whatever. I don't know what that does.
Was he planning on taking all this stuff down and trying to get the Baku to use it?
I guess that was the thought, right? But, like, he brings all of it with.
Yeah.
Well, the rest of the crew shows up and they're like, you can't do this without us, Captain. And he's like, get back to your quarters, number one, you pimply-faced bitch.
You fucking pimple-faced teenager.
Yeah, baby, go hump your old stupid psychic wife.
You stupid psychic wife.
And they say the dumbest line. The dumbest line in the movie is at this part when Jordy's like, "No uniform, no orders." It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's a fucking captain of a fucking starship, dude. Like,
Josh, I disagree with you. Because the dumbest line in the entire movie is directly after that.
oh Jesus Christ!
When they say, "Data,
Yeah.
what should we do? You're the only one in your own faculties." And he picks up a fucking phaser rifle and cocks it.
Yeah.
It says, "Saddle up, lock and load."
Yeah, that is pretty bad. There's
And-
2 really bad lines after another.
I vomited all over my own floor.
Yeah, that's really dumb.
There
it's
are
like they-
2 moments in this fucking movie that make me cringe so fucking hard, and that's one of them.
What's the other one? Do we get there yet?
We are not there yet. I don't
Okay,
think.
I'll wait then.
I don't think. I'll
We
go
should
ahead and
take
say
a
it
break
in
though
case.
too.
Fuck.
Sorry.
I mean, tune in after the break, kids.
Kevin, this is Scott. Kevin, this is Scott. Do you hear me? Over and out.
The Star Trek communicators with push-to-talk button.
Scott, this is Kevin. My bike is broken. Can you help me? Over. Yes, but send me a signal so I can find you.
Star Trek communicators with a range of 1,300 feet. Push button, twin warp sound, uses 1 9-volt battery, not included. Star Trek communicators with belt hook, telescoping antenna, and twin warp sound. From Ego.
And we're back. Hopefully you bought that product so we could stay on the air.
Yeah, we need it. Bring money.
Send money.
Send money.
So the other dumbest moment in the movie, I don't know if it happened yet or not. I don't think it did, but like fucking Anish is like, if you ever had a perfect moment.
Oh yeah.
Earlier in the movie that actually happened, but then like there's a part where like Picard and her are like sitting together and she rubs this big bald dome.
Yeah, and she said, "I haven't seen a bald man in 300 years."
And he's like, "I'll show you some bald, bitch." But he has a perfect moment, I guess, where everything slow-mos around him, and it looks, it is so fucking cringy.
There's this that's such a weird part of this movie. Like, did they have to give them this power to make them seem less human, since they're not humans, right? Like they look like humans, but like, why do they have this like slow time ability?
Here's
like,
the
what
thing,
is
right?
this?
If you have this like speech earlier in the movie about a perfect moment and everything slows down in it and you can live in it forever or what the fuck ever, why have it be a power that they have? If you're gonna do something dumb and cringy about him being in love, just have it happen and don't explain it and don't have him go,
Right.
"How are you doing this?"
Right. Like, I think also I think they got it in their head, and they with the theme of this movie, which is like slowing time down, slowing down aging, and slowing. I think they beat it to death. Like, they really beat that horse to death in this movie. And you don't need to do that. You could, like you said, just have it happen, and it would be much more natural, and you'd be like, "What the fuck?" You know, like this place is like a fucking like fairy tale or something, you know, and that it would make you think. But instead, it's like Anish has to like explain it to Captain Picard, you know.
There's nothing subtle in this movie.
No, there
the
is
thing.
not.
Like, even the whole metaphor about like forceful relocation, like they mentioned at least 4 times. Like, Earth has a violent history of forceful relocation.
Right.
If they would have flashed fucking images up on the screen, that's the only way it would have been less.
If it was like Lilu in fucking The Fifth Element when she's learning about history and she's eating the microwave chicken or whatever.
Oh my god.
Chicken good.
Let's just talk about that.
Oh, we should, dude.
We will. Someday.
I love that movie.
Someday. So they talk about the fucking injector, right?
Which is the thing that takes the radiation out of the rings.
Yeah.
It's like a big, weird ship. It's just a ship.
The weird thing about that as well is that it looks exactly like the light sail ships from Deep Space Nine that the Bajorans use.
The Bajor ships. Or, you know what I think? That was like a thing in the late 90s, early 2000s, because it's the ship it's Dooku's ship, right?
Yeah.
It's like the
Count
sail
Dooku.
ship.
Yeah. Solar sail.
Yeah, Solar Sailor.
Yeah, which is silly.
Right. That'll take forever to get anywhere.
But apparently the Bajorans used it to get to Cardassia. Thanks
They hit
to
a
black holes.
A fucking wormhole pocket or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. A warp drive pocket.
So they're like, we're gonna fucking use this shit on the rings and go down to the planet, get the Baku. If Picard gets in your way, fucking kill him.
Do away with him.
Murder his ass to death.
Yeah. And in the meantime, the Enterprise is heading out of the nebula to warn Starfleet about what's going on. Right?
I think so. I think that already happened. Yeah, because they left the captain's yacht and started going towards it.
Yeah, and then Rufio is like, I could send my ships to bring him back, and like the admiral already knows like he's gonna shoot him down. He's like, but he may not come back, and like it's like this like again it's a deal with the devil. Like Doherty knows he's made a bad deal, like he's fucked, and he
there's
has
like no
choice.
way out of it at this point.
He's done.
Oh man,
Shannon
what
Doherty,
an idiot.
Yeah.
So down on the surface, like they're all like, "We're leaving the village. Everybody, gather up your shit."
Yeah.
And Data puts up some transporter inhibitors, and Data.
Yeah, we get some cool Star Trek stuff here. This is
Yeah.
some kind of neat Star Trek-y shit going on.
Although Data also reveals at this point that he's always kind of wondered what it was like to be a child.
Apparently that was a thing. Except
he never mentions that ever before. He was always like, I want to know what it's like to be human.
Yeah, he's always a child though, which is ironic. Like he is a child because he doesn't know how to be a person, and that's what kids are. They don't know how to be people. They're just little weirdos.
Apparently, the dude Baku that I thought was married to Anise is named Jeff. Or Jeff or something.
So Jeff, yeah, I'm looking at it. Daniel Hugh Kelly is who acted as him.
Jeff, fucking.
He is so Jeff.
I hope not. He is so fucking up his own ass all the time.
He's in a million. This guy is in a million things.
He's just a character actor. He does everything.
Yeah, he's in The Mentalist. Oh, sweet.
Oh man. Anyway, so Picard's like, we're gonna go to these caves that have like a radiation that'll block their transporters.
Yeah, there's always some kind of like magnet thing going on in the caves that blocks transporters, I guess.
But on the way, the Sonus starts sending ships down that just start firing on them.
Yeah, they send down those shuttles that Data stole. Like one of those kind of shuttles. And they just start shooting at them.
Weren't you supposed to like pick them up and take them?
Yeah, I don't like, because then immediately after they do that, they send those remote control drones that tag them, like with the transporter tags.
Like, how many of them did they kill with the lasers before they started doing this?
Right, but that's exactly, like, you've already started to kill them, so I don't know why then you go back to the transporter tags. Like,
I guess like the idea was that they were going to be shooting the transporter buffer things, like the blockages.
Right.
They're firing on a village full of men, women, and children who have no way to protect themselves whatsoever.
There's a part where they hit that bridge that goes over that little pond in the town.
Everybody flies off of it at a million miles an hour.
They fly off of it, but there's a part where there's like a far away, like long shot, like of that, and there's like a water, like a whatever thing, like explosion they use to make water fly out where the phaser hit, and like the bridge like moves, and it's like, oh god, they probably like had to like fix that bridge because it's like a prop. It's just a fucking prop, Like, nobody walk on this bridge. We blew it up actually with our water explosion.
Everybody runs away, right?
Yeah.
And Ruafo is up on his thing, and he says the thing that you were talking about before, where he's like, I can send my ships or whatever. Yeah. But he has like a whole fucking speech about it.
Yeah.
And I guess it's his big villain speech, but it's so fucking ineffectual.
Yeah.
Because he looks like Melt Man. I can't take him seriously.
I don't know what's going on with this villain in this movie, honestly. Like, in some ways, like, because what we find out later, like, in some ways you feel sorry for him, which is kind of cool. It's like kind of a Star Trek thing, but in a lot of ways, he's just a pointless villain.
They
Like,
don't play that up that much. Like,
No,
feeling
not
sorry
for
him.
Not for him. For the other guy, they do. His like first in command guy, they do.
Who seems like a much better person.
Gallatin is that guy's
Yeah.
name. He's played by Peter Quill's grandfather in Guardians of the Galaxy. That's that guy.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's my John Larroquette fact of the week. It's the John Larroquette fact of the week.
Ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum.
Gotta play the night chord theme there.
Bum, ba-ba-da-ba.
Sweet saxophone plays.
We're not gonna edit that in. But,
No, we're not.
Like this is where the scene starts where they do the fucking perfect moment. I'm not retreading it, but I hate it.
Yeah,
Fucking hate it.
yeah. This whole part is like, this whole movie is just like 1 week part transitioning into like another week part. Like at this point in the movie, the build up should be escalating, right? Like, and I think that's what they thought they were doing, but like having a bunch of like people walking on a trail in the mountains and getting shot at isn't that exciting.
Not really.
But
They do that
there's
4 times in a row, like 4
Yeah.
scenes in a row.
yeah, and then there's a cool space battle, and the space battle's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what's happening like right now in the movie.
Yeah.
If you're watching along at home.
Yeah, and like this is the first time you get to see the E do some cool shit. Really.
Yeah. Like they
Which is
take
cool.
on Sona ships. Like they come on an intercept course and Riker's like let's get the hell out of here, right?
Yeah.
But they go into the Briar Patch in order to try and lose the Sona ships.
Yeah.
They do red alert, all hands battle stations, which I love to hear.
Oh, your boy's in this movie too.
Oh, my boy.
The boy from the last movie, the guy who Worf replaces.
Oh yeah,
He's in it.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
They say it in this movie, and I forget what it is.
He's my boy because I feel so fucking bad for him.
Is it Lieutenant Curtis? Is it Curtis?
I don't think it's Curtis. I know he has like the most Irish first name fucking ever,
Yeah,
but I can't remember it.
I'm looking it up. I don't know what it
Daniels,
is.
maybe?
No, Daniels is from. Oh, it is Daniels. You're right. It is Daniels.
Yeah, he has like a super Irish first name.
Like Patty.
Yeah, his name's Patty. No,
Patty O'Daniels.
Patty O'Shaughnessy Daniels. Yeah, he's in
Lieutenant
it, and he
Daniels.
just stands there and yells things.
Yeah.
But we transition back to the fucking Baku planet, and Troy and Crusher talk about their tits.
Yeah, their tits are firm, which is interesting to me, the male viewer, because I'm a
course.
male. I'm a stereotypical male. We gotta put booby joke in.
The metaphasic radiation is worth it now. We should take it.
We
from the planet.
definitely should rip these people off and relocate the fuck out of them immediately.
But Worf wants to eat the blood of a beast,
Because he's a Klingon, did you get it?
and Data asks him if his tits have firmed up.
There's another joke, yeah.
This is
there's
another joke.
And he's like, he looks at him like, what the fuck? And then immediately, like, lasers start
Yeah,
being
the
fucking
drones
shot at.
show up and start
Yeah.
fucking shooting tags that they can beam them out with.
Transporters. Yeah.
And
Which would suck.
back to space. These movies are like A plot, B plot, A plot, B plot, scene after
Yeah.
scene.
Well, usually that is fine. Like, I don't care about that. Like, I think, like, I mean, that's why Star Wars was so good, because, like, Star Wars, like, was just always A plot, B plot. And at the end of the movie, there was usually A plot, B plot, C plot, right?
Yeah.
Like, Return of the Jedi does it, and I know everyone hates it, but Phantom Menace does it. And that's fine. That works fine. But, like, this like, the A plot is boring and the B plot is interesting. they're both not interesting at the same time. You know what I mean?
It's not interesting enough to carry a whole movie full of uninteresting shit.
Right. This is an episode, like you said. This is an episode.
So, Riker takes the ship deeper into the Briar Patch, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if this happens now or in a few minutes, but there's a great scene where Riker's like, we need to scoop up as much of this material
open the
as
ram
we can.
scoop. Yeah.
And LaForge is like, why? And he's like, why? Because I'm going to shove it down our throats.
Yeah, the Trill
looks at him
over.
like, oh my God, I want to suck your dick so
I want to
bad.
suck that dick. Yeah. That's a cool moment. I like how they put a Trill there too. I think that's cool.
Here's a fun fact for you. John Larroquette fun fact of the week, part
Number two. Okay.
is that there is a deleted scene of a librarian in this movie who's researching the Sona.
I have no idea about
Who
this.
looks up the information that Troy and Riker talk about.
Right.
And he is a Trill played by Max Grodenchik, better known as Rom from Deep Space Nine.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's a cut scene. It was filmed and everything, so it's on like the special features.
Yeah, these movies, I always have a theory about deleted scenes in these movies. Like, when a movie is not good and you've deleted scenes out of it, put the scenes back in.
Yeah. Who cares at that point, right?
You gotta make it interesting. And even if it's like, oh, that's Rom, for Star Trek fans, right?
Yeah.
Because Star Trek movies love to do that. They do it all the time.
Here's your second part of that fun fact, right? Part
Dude,
3
this is
of the John Larroquette fun fact of the week.
Fun fact of the week squared.
Is there was a scene at the end of this movie that was filmed, and Armin Shimmerman had to sit in a chair for 4 fucking hours to get the makeup put on for Quark.
And they took it out of the movie.
And at the end of the movie, Quark tries to sell people timeshares on the Baku planet.
I would love
Which
to
is
see
fucking
this.
brilliant.
I'm
right?
gonna look this up when we're done.
Apparently the scene part of it, like the film part of it, isn't even on the DVD.
Yeah.
But there are set photos of him wearing a Hawaiian shirt with like 2 sexy ladies and Worf. And
that's really funny.
And I wish that would have been in the movie.
Yeah, see, that's the stuff, like, if you're gonna go full bore ham it up in this movie, which, like, kind of they do, like, you just do it, right?
Yeah.
Because Quark is fucking awesome.
I love Quark.
He's in an episode of TNG.
Is he? Yeah, the episode where they go to the fucking thing first.
Riker calls him and says, "You owe me a favor, Quark," and he's like, "Oh, do I?"
Yeah. Because that was in the first episode of Voyager, too, which is the only good part of that.
Yeah, he tries to sell the lovey crystals.
Yeah.
These are worthless lovey crystals.
That's how we're introduced to all those great characters.
Ensign Kim, you fucking moron.
Yeah.
Don't buy them, you butt fucking idiot.
That could be repeated 1,000,000 times throughout that series. Ensign Kim, you fucking idiot.
He's the stupidest fucking character.
He just makes so many mistakes. People talk to me all the time about how, like, he doesn't have a personality or whatever. Mm-hmm. But he does have a personality. It's whiny bitch.
He's
a shitty constantly angry and whiny.
He's just sexless and weird.
Yeah. Anyway,
he whines.
Talking about this film, this is actually the scene where the subspace tear happens. They use the subspace weapon and they have to eject the core and detonate it to get rid of the subspace tear.
Right. Which, there's like kind of a cool line at that part when they they're getting sucked into this, I guess it's sort of like a black hole or whatever. And like they're pulling it along with them because it's like a magnet. The warp core attracts it like a magnet.
Yeah.
And they eject the core and I think Riker's like, eject the core, and Geordi's like, I already did, which is kind of lame. But then later they're trying to figure out how they're gonna deal with these ships, and they're like, well, they can just shoot another weapon off, and I think somebody's like, and we're fresh out of warp core,
yeah,
which is pretty funny, you know.
And Riker's like, well, we're not going to run from him anymore. And he does his line, and then the Trill wants to suck his D.
You get to see Riker be awesome in this part, which is cool.
Would have been better if he had a beard.
Yep. Yep.
But they make back on the planet. They make it to the cave, right?
Yeah, they get in the caverns.
And they set up some force fields. So the Baku, the fucking Sona just starts shooting the caverns.
Yeah.
I thought you were trying to get them off the planet.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. Like this shit makes no sense. Like, because they could, at this point, just use the collector and get the shit and kill everybody. Like, who cares?
They apparently cared. And I mean, that's
weird.
explained later. But
Yeah.
still, even with that explanation,
Right.
they're villainous as fuck. They're firing on them right now.
They're already trying to kill them. Like, in any court of law, that is attempted murder. So I don't know, like, what the difference is, but okay.
So they're trapped in the cave, which is completely fucking pointless because they find an escape route immediately.
Right, because it's a
And
cave.
they see more caves in the distance, and they're like, all right, everybody move out. So that entire scene was completely fucking pointless.
It's pointless, exactly. It didn't need to happen.
So they continue on their merry fucking way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts back to the Enterprise's space. They use the collectors, the fucking scoops.
Yeah.
Space scoops.
The ram scoop. It collects space matter and converts it to energy. It's like a jet engine, but yeah.
So they gather, like, explodey particles, right?
Yeah, whatever this gas is.
And they like... Riker activates the manual steering column, which is just like a 1990s computer joystick. Like, I had that joystick when I was a kid.
I had it to play TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the computer.
That shit. Oh my god. It's on the Enterprise E.
That's how they fly the whole Enterprise E, which is a ship, by the way, the size of, like, lower Manhattan.
Yeah.
Like, it's a goddamn big-ass ship.
So he flies it towards the ship, and they blow out the ram scoops.
Yeah.
And the gas hits the Sona ship, and it just fucking blows up.
Yeah, it's like gasoline. It's like space gasoline. And it blows up one of the ships, and then the other ship just gets, like, real fucked up.
Yeah. And
just do that in the first place.
I don't know, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if history records this as the Riker maneuver.
I didn't know Geordie LaForge did a lot of, like, movie history reels.
It's me, Geordie LaForge from Starship Enterprise.
Those are all boys down on the ground trying to protect the Baku.
Go get 'em, boys.
Back on the planet.
Dude, I hate this planet shit. Like, this is when I start checking the fuck out of this movie, because, like, this planet shit is dumb as fuck.
So the Sona send foot soldiers?
Yeah, they send, like, randos, and one of the guys is the guy, one of the guys is one of the Cylons from New Battlestar Galactica. I think. I could be wrong, but he talks exactly like him. He speaks the same. I don't know.
Well, that would be interesting if true.
Interesting if true.
And so they shoot one, right? And this one they don't kill, because he's still moving. And Crusher, like, uses her tricorder, and she's like, oh my god, check this shit out. And Picard's like, oh shit.
Crusher's like, I did something.
I'm in this movie also.
It's me, the Doctor.
Remember when I had a part in the plot?
Not this one.
Then there's, like, a whole other fucking pointless scene, right? Where they're, like, in the cave. The cave has a cave-in.
Yeah.
But, like, everyone's leaving the cave, right? And then the kid runs back in because his fucking ass-faced chipmunk is still in there.
He forgets the thing from Flight of the Navigator. I don't know if you've ever seen Flight of the Navigator.
I don't know that reference at all.
But the kid has a thing that's exactly like that thing.
It's an
I wonder if they
ass-faced
ripped it from
chipmunk.
Yeah, it's just a puffy. It's a fucking computerized chipmunk.
It is a CGI abomination, is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a little reference for somebody who listens to my other podcast. No one. But anyway,
you can plug it. Go ahead, plug it right now.
It's called Rider Club Radio. It's about tokusatsu. You could find it on WordPress or whatever.
Fucking listen to it, bitches.
Just Google it. Get off my ass, Liam. I fucking chilled it. All right, we're done.
Dude, you can do it all the time. I don't even care. Hawk that shit. Be proud, man.
It's pretty good. She goes back for his fucking ass-face chipmunk, right?
Yeah, and then Anij goes
after him, and then they just get out of the thing.
Yeah.
So that was pointless. And then Picard goes to talk to Anij. He goes back to her, and he's like, "Oh, I'm glad you got back." And then there's a fucking cave-in. So the whole scene of the kid going to get his ass-face chipmunk is completely superfluous.
It's pointless.
It's just, that's what happens in a movie, right? The kid gets in danger and they save it and get trapped.
It's a trope, right? Yeah, it's a trope they had. It's like, at this point in the film, when they were writing it, they were like, well, we don't have enough, like, things that are in movies. So, like, we'll just put a bunch of smoke and mirrors, like, these tropes, and it'll be like a movie. And it's like, what? Like, that's fucking... Maybe you should just, like, rewrite the movie. Like,
if you're that low on content for your film... Either rewrite the film from the base up or don't fucking make it.
Don't make
Those are your choices.
Like, I have a hard fucking time. I mean, I guess it makes sense because Rick Berman and Michael Piller wrote it. But, like, what they should do for these movies is, like, have a bunch of people, like, send them, ideas. Like, get people to write you different scripts of Star Trek movies.
You could.
And then pick the one you like and then buy it or whatever and then fucking develop it, right?
You fucking could. That could have been a choice.
But instead, Rick Berman's like, I have got a spectacular idea. I'm Rick Berman.
That's probably what he sounds like.
It's me, Rick Berman.
I wrote this story, everyone. Come and listen.
We're going to double our money.
And he was right.
And he was right. Yeah.
Not quite, actually, but anyway.
Little less than double.
There's like a cave-in, and Anij is hurt, and Picard isn't, because it's a fucking movie, and that's what happens.
Anij is dying.
And she's fucking dying from getting hit by a rock and not crushed at all. Yeah. And Picard's like, just stay with me, like, make it so that this moment lasts forever, or whatever, and she uses her fucking special powers.
Well, I always thought it was him that did it at that point. I think he does it.
He fucking learned how to use chaos control.
Yeah, because she's all up his dick hole about
video game reference.
Because she's like, I never knew someone so young could like be so how you are. She's like,
and you thought it would take centuries to learn,
right? And it's like, but like, I don't even understand what this fucking superpower is. Like, I don't even understand this shit.
Maybe it is supposed to be like metaphorical or whatever, but why the fuck do they reference it then?
That's the problem with like metaphors in Star Trek sometimes, is like, it's not Star Wars, so you can't have just a straight metaphor, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
Like, Star Wars has fucking magic in it. It's just magic.
And that's fine. It doesn't need an explanation. We don't need to know about midichlorians.
Right, but Star Trek doesn't have magic in it.
No. So everything has to have some sort of a scientific explanation.
Right.
This doesn't, is the thing.
Right, exactly.
It's just magic.
It's just straight up magic.
So they fucking dig her out or whatever, and they're just walking along a trail again, and more fucking Sona drones show up again.
It's like Lord of the Rings at this point.
And they fire their fucking weapons again. And that's when Worf uses his famous purple space bazooka.
Yeah. Which shoots a purple bazooka.
I never called it the purple space bazooka. I always called it the Super Nintendo Super Scope.
It's the Super Scope, yeah.
Because that is exactly what it is. It's just repainted with some of the parts taken off.
It's large.
Jesus. But Picard and Anij get tagged, and they get transported away.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's like, well,
we're fucked.
I guess he was the only one that could ever make any decisions, so... But so Ruafo and Doherty go to the prison cell where they're holding Picard. You can tell I'm getting tired of describing this movie.
Well, like, it's so boring. Like, these parts are fucking... Because most of it's pointless. Like, they could just cut all this shit out. Like, they could. It doesn't... None of this matters. None of that walking mattered.
They talking the shit. Who cares?
Yeah.
And fucking... Ruafo's like, well, we're just gonna kill him. Who cares?
When does... and then Doherty is like, you can't. I'm not gonna let you do that. And he's like, you're gonna pull this shit on me now, dude? Like...
Yeah.
We did all this crazy fucking illegal shit, and now you're gonna say, like, that's it?
Oh, I think, this is the scene where Picard's like, we found out that the Baku and the Sona are the same race.
Yeah, and he's like, you've got the Federation mixed up in a blood feud, Admiral. And it's like, whoa, Picard's fucking pissed with his trapezoid shirt.
And the Admiral's like, oh, no, I fucked up.
He says, it was all for the Federation. It was all for the Federation.
It fucking... like, Rafa's like, then just fucking kill him, who cares? And Picard's like, you'd kill your own people.
Yeah.
And Anisia's like, Ruafo, you're the kid, right? You're that kid. And Rafa's like, fuck you, bitch, it's not my name anymore.
They call me Darth Ruafo now.
But anyway, Doherty's finally had a change of heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Ruafo, we can't do this anymore. We're gonna stop this shit. And Ruafo's like, no!
He bleeds again from his skull.
And he grabs Doherty and starts slamming him around like a fucking WWF cage match.
He body slams him onto the table that the face stretcher is on.
Yeah. And the whole time I'm just like, aren't you supposed to be dying?
Yeah, like, I guess they have, like, crazy reflexes, right? Like the kids are playing that crazy hacky sack game.
Yeah, but isn't that because of the planet?
Yeah, but I don't know.
Maybe it doesn't fade or something.
Maybe it enhances them.
But Rafa's like strong as fuck. Like, he just picks this dude up and body slams him with one hand.
Yeah.
And then he turns the machine on and it stretches Doherty's face off.
And it's the worst CGI of all time.
Yeah, they really probably should have just cut away or something.
I was thinking about it when I was watching it. I was like, it would have been fucking awesome if you don't see his face. It's shot from like behind him and you see him like his head, like the back of his head, and Ruafu's like standing over him watching him, and like you
see his body like convulse.
Yeah, it's convulsing. Yeah, and then like you hear like a rip and like blood splatters over Ruafu. Like that would be cool. That's like a horror movie, you know?
That would have been really intimidating. I might have been able to take Ruafo seriously.
Yeah, that's like a villain would do that. Not this like shitty CGI face stretch.
But they go back to the fucking, I don't know, they're like, all right, take Picard to the place, right? And they're like, well, there's not enough shielding there. They'll get hit by the radiation. And Ruafo's like, yep.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
And then, so the other guy, the first in command, Gallatin,
yeah,
takes him to go do whatever, right? Like,
and Picard's just like doing this thing that villains usually just tell. The villains normally just like shut up.
Yeah, I know what you're doing.
But now Gallatin, he falls for it, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, but like throughout the whole movie, he's kind of like not on board with this shit.
Yeah, he's like a much better person.
Yeah, he's like a good
lot
guy.
of the other ones.
Yeah.
So Picard's like, you know what? I'm not pleading for my life. I'm pleading for yours.
Nice.
And Gallatin's like, oh shit, he got me.
Yeah.
He got me.
So they strike up a plan.
Yeah, he just turns traitor immediately, but I would too. Fuck it.
Yeah, this is going south.
Yeah, and like the Collector's fucking separation sequence begins, and Rafa's like, everything's going according to plan.
Yeah.
And there's just like a flash.
Yeah, it's like a weird light.
And like the one guy's like, what was that? And Rafa's like, who cares?
Nothing. It's like so dumb. Yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
He's like, I don't know, fuck it.
The thing starts working and it starts taking all the good shit, the good out of the rings. And Rafa's like, wait a minute, nothing in my life goes right. What's going on?
Well, they're like, but there's no readings. He's like, that's impossible. He's like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
And like he sees that like the holodeck is fucked up on the edge of it.
Yeah, it's like the lines aren't made right. Like it's all fucked up.
So he just starts shooting around the room until he finds the door.
Yeah, which is like fucking pretty funny actually.
It really is. It's not supposed to be, but it is.
But it's like that's how a holodeck works. There's a door somewhere.
And he's like, a holodeck. And then he looks out the window and he sees that like nothing is
still there.
Yeah, and he goes, no.
It's like worse than the Darth Vader now.
It's far worse.
It's so dumb.
He's real mad.
Yep.
But they're gonna pull the hollow ship in with a tractor beam. But I guess they didn't turn all the fucking transporters off.
Sure.
They were just like, let's beam them over there and just leave all the systems running.
Right. It's the same thing like with the computer thing. Like, why wouldn't you turn this shit off? Like, turn that shit the fuck off. You idiots. Ugh.
Well, I guess they are locked down. I'm just remembering now. He like does some fucking technical mumbo jumbo.
Oh, do they fucking Star Trek wizard their way out
Yeah.
of it? Yeah. Okay. I don't know at this point.
Like they're like, we're gonna blow up the collector, but they've shut down control of the ship.
Yeah.
And so they're like, well, what the fuck are we gonna do now? So Picard Star Treks himself
Right.
over to the machine so he
Yeah.
can turn on the self-destruct. And they're like, you only have 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's like some crazy like window. Yeah.
Like, we have 2 seconds to beam you out or you're fucking dead. And Picard's
Yeah.
like, all right.
Sure. Fuck it.
But after he gets over there, all the Sona like transport back to the ship through Star Trek magic. And Worf beats the shit out of all of them, but somehow they still take control. Like, he beats everyone up. There's like 7 of them, and he
I
just
feel like I
beats them
don't
all
remember
up.
any of this. Like, I watched this twice this week, and I don't remember this.
This all happened.
I believe it. I'm just saying, like, at this point in the movie, man, I am like, all right.
But Ruafo and Picard like shoot at each other until there's like gas that's gonna blow up the room. And Picard's like, you won't do it, bitch. And Ruafo's like, yeah, I guess you're right. And Picard's like, but I will.
But I will, because I'm fucking crazy.
And he just
Punk
shoots
rock,
it.
motherfucker.
He just fucking shoots it, and it just explodes at Ruafo. It doesn't explode the room.
Yeah, it's like, well, that worked out well.
It's exactly like the scene in First Contact where they're like, you can't shoot the dish. And then
Right.
Picard shoots the dish, and it just makes a little poof.
Yeah, he shoots, like, the metal part of the dish. I guess that's fine, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
I guess.
He makes it to the thing and he starts realigning all the shit so that he like taking one isolinear chip out and putting it in somewhere else.
It's that Star Trek isolinear chip puzzle.
Yeah, you just have to put shit in the right order.
It's
and it
every
makes
Star Trek video
machine.
game. Yeah.
And fucking meanwhile, the Enterprise has found its way back and they see Ruafo's flagship. And fucking Riker's like, set a collision course.
Dude, he's crazy.
Because all of his fucking brains were in his beard, I guess.
Right, he's like, this ship's big as fuck, let's run it into shit.
And, like, on the ship, they're like, he wouldn't. And Worf says, I believe he would. But, you know, like, fucking Picard's, like, doing all this shit. He's taking all these isolinear chips out, and it takes forever.
Yeah.
And there's a countdown that's always, like, 1 second later every time they go back to it.
Oh, it's like, it's the fucking, yeah, it's that there's a name for that. That's a trope also.
Yeah, it's like
called
a ticking clock something.
It's called like extended ticking clock or something like that. Because like in real time, it's way more time than in the editing, right?
Yeah,
it's a really cheap thing to do.
Every Die Hard movie.
Yes, especially Die Hard 3.
But Die Hard's fucking awesome, so it's fine.
Die Hard 3 is really awesome.
But, fucking, like, Riker's like, we're on our way, and Picard's like, I think I'm just gonna die.
Yeah.
There's not enough time. And he hits the self-destruct, shit starts exploding, and...
The Enterprise does this dope-ass fucking flyby maneuver.
Yeah, and transports him out as they go past.
Yeah.
And Ruafo says no.
Again.
Far worse than anyone has ever said no.
Yes.
Like, even worse than the last time he said it.
Yeah, he needs to stop saying no.
Well, he's dead.
Be a yes man, Rufio. Don't be a no man.
He's fucking dead, so he can't say that anymore.
Yeah, he gets vaped. He gets vaporized.
He gets straight up vaped, bro.
Vaped. And I think that's the end of the movie, I think.
Yeah, they go down to the fucking planet, and they say goodbye to everybody, and Data says goodbye to his best friend, the small child.
They play in the hay, like in the beginning of the movie.
And Picard's like, I'm gonna be back. I got 318 days of shore leave coming, and I'm gonna use them to fuck that ass.
We are gonna tap each other's beeholes. Because
I
I'm
didn't know
into that.
Picard was that kind of guy.
Hey, man, he's French.
It's the future.
The French love anal, that's for sure.
Is that a truth?
I think it's a stereotype.
The French love all kinds of freaky shit.
They do. They invented the French kiss, so.
But they
invented the
they
French
just
kiss.
fucking leave.
Yeah, that's it. That's the end of the movie. All right, let's take a break.
We'll take a break and we'll be back with our final thoughts.
And emails.
And some nice emails.
Yes.
For you parents who don't speak Klingonese, he's saying, people of Earth, unite and bring your kids to McDonald's for a Star Trek meal. That's a regular hamburger, fries, soft drink, a McDonald and cookie sampler, and a Star Trek prize. Oh, yes, 5 different boxes based on Star Trek the Motion Picture. Action scenes, jokes, games. He says, take it from a father who knows. His kids love him. McDonald's Star Trek meal available for your kids now.
And now we're back.
Yes, we are
Josh,
back.
I would like to hear your final thoughts about Insurrection.
In the grand scheme of things, Star Trek movie-wise, this movie isn't very good, but it's not the worst thing. Like we said earlier, it was like 55% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like
That's pretty much what it deserves.
it's 50-50. Like there's good parts, and then there's stupid bullshit.
I remember actually hating this movie a lot more last time I watched it. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm having that experience a lot with Star Trek movies, where I didn't
Right.
know how low the bar could be set until I saw
Exactly.
Into Darkness.
Exactly. Like I'm comparing all these movies against each other simultaneously, right? Which is like hard to do because there's major differences.
Yeah.
But like
I would put this movie above Star Trek 2009.
I would definitely put it above that, and I would put it above 5.
Yeah, 5 in
Also.
2009. I would put it above. That's where it would go, right above
Right.
that.
Yeah.
And
that's
it would be
about
above
right.
Nemesis as well for me, but I'm sure Josh feels differently.
I would put Nemesis above this. But I'll talk about it. I'll save it for the one when we do that one.
That's the next
There's-
one.
Yeah, there's a few reasons I would, but I'll save it for then.
Maybe you'll change my mind.
I'm not trying to change your mind.
You're always trying to fucking make me like you, Josh.
Yes, I'm going to clone myself.
I learned it from you, Josh.
I learned it from watching you. Yeah, I like you said though, like I hated this movie a lot more, and now like I'm just indifferent to it. Like I'm just like it's whatever. Like it's not good, but it's not. If you want to watch a Star Trek movie and just have a Star Trek movie on while you're doing other things, fucking put this movie on. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's a good
you don't have to-
background movie.
Yeah, you don't have to pay attention to it, but you still get some fun Star Trek shit. Like I don't know.
I don't like people complain about the motion picture being boring.
Yeah.
This movie is so much more boring than the motion picture, and it's like full of action scenes and shit. How do you pull that off?
Because it's boring, tropey action. It's just stupid movie bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And like that's what killed this franchise of films was it's just goofy movie shit. You know,
It's
like
standard 90s action movie shit.
yeah. And I mean, at this point in time, there are some incredible science fiction movies being made. Like The Matrix is a year away. Fifth Element was a year prior to this. Like there's crazy shit going on. And like this
You're following by the book shit, like by the
Yeah.
numbers.
yeah, it's Star Trek for fuck's sake. Like do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Make a fucking another time travel movie. I don't give a shit.
Do
you know what I mean?
anything that isn't just like your standard ass episode. You have like a movie format to work with.
Right.
And
you could make anything.
You don't go like too far in the other direction. I feel like Insurrection and Nemesis are a great microcosm of Star Trek movies.
yeah.
Where Insurrection goes completely in the direction of being just an episode of the TV show but stretched to a full movie. And Nemesis goes in the complete opposite direction where it leaves behind everything from the TV show.
Right.
And there's a middle ground, right? Like a wide breadth where you can do a million different things.
Yeah, well, this is like such a weird I mean, this is a really weird time in movies. Like, movies are going through some weird shit. Like, 99 is a fantastic year for films. Star Wars came back, Matrix, but like Star Trek just got left behind. Like they didn't know what to do, and they were struggling to be relevant, which is a problem because you're Star Trek. You always are relevant.
You don't have to be relevant on the same plane.
Exactly.
As
have a little
other
self-respect.
films.
Like, you're fucking Star Trek. Like, you can do whatever you want. Why would you not?
I don't know. That's my biggest fucking fear with Discovery, right? They keep talking.
Yeah.
They keep comparing it to Game of Thrones. Like,
boy.
Like, they're saying that, modern TV has come so far. We have, like, Game of Thrones now. We want to bring, like, Star Trek into the modern era or whatever. And I don't want, like, depressing-ass, dark, incesty Star Trek. It's not what I'm into.
Well, that's the thing, is, like, the Federation is, like, not that.
No.
Like, it's one thing if you have these Voyagers, meaning the people, going out into space, having, like, struggling in the... Which, in Discovery's time, is still, like, unknown. Like,
yeah.
The Federation's, like, infantile, right? But, like, yeah, I'm not looking forward to the fake played-up drama.
I'm really afraid of that. I really am.
Me too. And Deep Space Nine is full of, like, darkness, but, like...
It keeps the core of what Star Trek is very well.
It's perfectly done because they're in the Wild West, right?
Yeah.
They're not in the Federation, shit gets crazy.
They make some missteps with the Federation in the same vein, though, but they always correct them, and it's nowhere near the focus of the show.
Yeah.
What the show does perfectly is have that dichotomy of, like, the bright light of the Federation, but you're this tiny little bulb of it out in the middle of the darkness.
Yeah, you're like a fucking outpost.
Yeah.
And, like, how do you maintain order in, like, this crazy chaos? You know what I mean?
Well, like Bashir said, it's frontier medicine.
Frontier medicine, yep. Which is what Star Trek, like, was originally thought of, right? It was a wagon train to the stars, like the show Wagon Train, right?
Yes, it's like somebody described Deep Space Nine as, like, if Star Trek the original series was Wagon Train, then Deep Space Nine was like Rawhide.
Yeah, that's a good analysis. That's really good.
And I mean,
you should just take credit for that. You said that.
Yeah, I said it. Jeff Pennington said that. And it makes perfect sense because Deep Space Nine has a mayor.
Right.
It has a sheriff.
Right.
It has a barkeep.
Yep. It's a Western.
Doctor.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a Western town.
Yep. It's cool, but I'm also Discovery is being made by idiots. Like,
yeah, and it keeps changing hands every, like, couple weeks too.
That's really bad. That's fucking...
It's terrifying.
That's bad. What is it? Kurtzman? Alex Kurtzman is doing it?
He's,
right?
like, executive producing it.
He is...
complete fucking moron.
You might know him best for Transformers.
A series that thespians really love more than any other.
Transformers, the new Mummy movie.
You mean the plane crash movie?
The plane crash movie? Yeah. Remember when The Mummy needed a reboot? Oh, Cowboys and Aliens.
Do you remember when The Mummy needed a reboot and it was called The Mummy starring Brendan Fraser?
Dude.
Because that was awesome.
Oh, man.
You know what doesn't need another fucking reboot? The Mummy.
The Mummy. We don't need it. It's not a thing.
Anyway.
What did he write? He wrote Into Darkness, so that's all you really need to know.
That's all I'll ever need to know to tell him that he could just fucking die.
He was a writer on the last season of Fringe, which is fucking terrible.
Never saw it.
Cowboys and Aliens, which I know the guy who originally wrote that movie, by the way.
I'll drop in not names, but connections.
Revenge of the Fallen. He wrote Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen.
I fucking know Josh Henderson. How about that?
Man, that's gonna get you places.
I know. I'm gonna ride his coattails as far as I can.
I got short coattails, man. I don't know. I don't know.
My point is, Insurrection isn't a great movie. It's pretty fucking bad, but it's not terrible. It's alright.
It's 45% bad.
Yeah, it's alright in places, and it's terrible in a lot of other places.
Yeah.
I would give it a 55%.
I'm sticking to that, too. It's a strong 55%.
Nobody can get mad at us because we're just using your fucking percentage.
Yeah, that's what the people have spoken.
I agree with it, though. It's one of the few Rotten Tomatoes scores that I absolutely agree with.
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes is way overhyped, by the way.
Yeah, I agree.
Dude, people with Rotten Tomatoes.
You know what fucking Rotten Tomatoes score I'll never agree with and makes me fucking second guess everything from the website?
I can't wait to hear this.
RoboCop has an 83.
Yeah, RoboCop is a fucking phenomenal movie.
Fuck you! RoboCop needs 90 plus.
RoboCop's a 95%.
Yeah,
easily.
RoboCop is like my favorite fucking movie, right?
There are like there are no problems with that movie. Like that movie is great. It's people who don't understand the movie, people who don't get it, that it's a satire. Like it's over the fucking top because it's an 80s movie that it's crazy. It's
satirizing 80s culture.
Yes.
Is why it's so over the top.
The SUX 8000 or whatever. Like it's so great. That movie's so great.
That's my favorite movie. I love that movie so much. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. We've said our piece about Insurrection, so why don't we say our piece about some emails?
Emails. John Larroquette emails.
It's the John Larroquette power play of the week. Our first email is from Jack Carpenter.
Oh, this guy again.
Who says, "Sup guys, it's me again."
Fuck you, Jack.
I know, I'm excited too.
It's like I'm talking to him.
I have a funny story for y'all.
Go ahead.
One of my former college teammates recently got into Star Trek, which is great. He actually got there after he recently watched the 2009 film, hated it, and decided to watch TNG because he'd heard me say the series is really what Star Trek is meant to be like.
I feel like we did this one already.
Did we?
I don't know, did we? We'll answer it again anyway.
If we did this in the last episode, I'm sorry, there's no question.
That's right. I think we answered this already.
There's no question. Anyway, his friend got into TNG, then DS9, and then his friend started listening to our podcast, even though he said he wasn't interested in it.
Yeah.
So he finished his email by saying, "Hey, Will, I know you listen to this show, and my message to you is that I fucking told you this was good. Go fuck yourself."
I don't know if we did this. I feel like maybe we did, but I don't know.
I don't think we did it, but that's the gist of it.
I cut your story off because I thought we did this one already.
Josh fucking hates Jack Carpenter, everybody.
Well, I'm just sticking up for Will.
We got your back, Will.
We got your back, Will. But thank you for the email. Sorry, I thought we did this one.
That's okay. That's okay. We might
keep sending emails, though. I'll keep getting confused as to what we're doing.
Our next email is from Nathaniel Sin.
That's a evil fucking name.
You fuck for a living, don't you?
Yeah, he's a fucking like Johnny Sins. Yeah,
hey there, Jeff and Josh. First of all, thank you for the great podcast. I just discovered it recently and blitzed through it to get caught up. Mm-hmm. Hey, thanks for listening, buddy.
Thank you. I was drinking something. Thank you, though.
Probably wine. My question is, how do you guys feel about the expanded universe, books, comics, games, and so on for Star Trek?
I play Star Trek Online. I'm not gonna tell you my name, but I like that.
Shaken Titties 69.
That's what it is. Look it up. I like that expanded universe. I think it's well written. It adds things very nicely, and they get a lot of voice acting of the actors who were in Star Trek, which is awesome.
I still don't play it.
Haven't read the books. I understand that they're weird and terrible.
They're a little strange. I've read a few TOS books. I wouldn't recommend any of them.
Yeah,
they're all really
what I've
silly.
Always heard. Yeah.
I read Sanctuary, and it's good for a laugh. I forget who wrote it, but it's a TOS book, and it's weird as fuck.
Yeah, that's what I always thought of them. They were just off the wall, like written by like fans, sort of. You know what I mean?
There's a game, right? Like there's a first person shooter, something Forces.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Elite Force is what it's called. Star
Okay.
Trek Elite Forces. And you play like a strike team of security people on Voyager.
Like the Makos, sort of.
On Voyager,
you don't know about the Makos.
I
yet.
do know about the Makos.
Oh, okay.
But and in the second one, you're a strike team on the Enterprise E.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to play those fucking games, and I can't get my hands on them.
Yeah.
My whole life, I haven't been able to get my hands on them.
That sounds cool. I didn't know that's cool though.
The Star Trek 30th anniversary point and click game.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. Big fan of it. And I think I've mentioned before that Pulsar, even though it looks like ass, is actually a really great Trek simulator if you get some friends who are really into it.
That's cool. Yeah, I think I mentioned I played not a Star Trek themed Starship simulator, but like a game that was basically Star Trek.
Was it Stellaris?
No, I forget the name
people
of it.
talk about that all the time as being...
It's not out yet. It was in beta when I got to play it.
Lottie fucking da, Mr. Beta player over here.
I tested a beta.
I fucking got that open beta, bro.
I'm gonna go play the beta later. You know.
I love that voice. Anyway. Comic books. I get talked to a lot by somebody I'm about to read their email in a few minutes.
Yeah.
And he's always pushing like the Kelvin timeline comics, which I've read a little bit of and actually aren't that bad.
I know that Data, like, that's how they bring back Data and shit. Like,
I don't know about that shit. I didn't get that far.
Well, when we get to 2009, we could spend an entire show on the viral marketing campaign of that movie and how, like, it tells basically a better story than the movie itself.
As a follow-up, do you think it's even possible to recreate what makes Star Trek special outside of the film or TV medium? Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think it is.
I think if you even just read the scripts of some of the TV episodes, they work as great fiction on their own.
Yeah. They're well written.
Yeah. If you just have well-written stuff, you can make something great. I feel like in a modern setting of gaming where like there's so many choices for games that aren't just like bang bang shoot 'em ups or hop and bops.
Yeah, hop and bops.
Platformers, I feel like they might be called.
Yeah, they're platformers.
Hop and bops.
Hop it, bop it, platform it.
Sock 'em boppers.
Sock 'em boppers.
More fun than a Star Trek
Killing
episode.
yourself.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, I don't know. That could be pretty
It
fun.
could be super fun for all we know.
I don't know.
Maybe if what the fuck, Telltale Games made like a Star Trek game?
Yeah, that's cool. That would be cool.
Like, there was some sort of like they did like a more modern point and click type thing.
Yeah.
Because all the Star Trek point and click games are really fun.
Yeah, you could do it. I played Armada and Armada 2. Those were like RTSs, and they were super fun.
Star Trek does RTS really well. And
It's
there's
cool
some pretty
StarCraft, yeah.
There's some pretty good storylines in those games too.
Yeah. There's the second one. You go to the Delta Quadrant and fight the Borg, and Picard's in it, like John I'm calling him by his name.
Jean-Luc Picard.
Jean-Luc Picard, the guy who plays Jean-Luc Picard, is in it, and it's great. Like, it's really cool.
Yeah, so I think it's super possible.
Yeah, I agree.
Thanks again. I'm looking forward to hearing you two tear into darkness, or just listening to you scream for 2 hours.
Dude, that's gonna be longer than 2 hours. Holy
That's
mother.
gonna be a part 1, part 2 episode.
It's gonna be a bloodbath.
Our next episode is from Vince Pavey.
Vince,
who is the comic book guy I was talking about in the last question.
Way to set it up. Good job.
I know what I'm doing on this podcast.
You
shit.
Fuck yeah, man.
He says, "Hi Jeff. Hi Josh.
Hi.
Do you think Insurrection would have been better if it had followed suit with First Contact and somehow had an A plot and a B plot take place in different locations?" Rather than giving everyone, and by that I mean Picard and Data, motivations to be in one basic plot on the planet's surface.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that in the show. But
there is a B plot, but it only starts halfway through the movie.
It's like
and it's completely pointless for the most part.
It's like there's an A plot and an A.5 plot.
Yeah.
Like they're not completely separate from one another, and like I said in the show, like they're not interesting at the same time. Like one of them is interesting, and then the other one gets interesting while the other suffers.
Yeah,
it's not.
It takes
good.
the interesting part of the A plot and puts it into a B plot.
Right. It's exactly. It switches them around, which is fucked up because like they should be both equally interesting. That's how that should.
That's
be.
how an A plot and B plot works, or else you're just dreading the next plot point to come up.
Right. Like in Lord of the Rings. Like I know it's like they're great movies. I love Lord of the Rings, but like. Whenever they cut back to Frodo, a lot of times I'm like, oh, God.
A lot of the Frodo bits in those movies are extremely similar to the last one.
Yeah.
When something new happens in the Frodo part, it's always great. But sometimes that doesn't happen for a long time.
Right. Sometimes you have to sit through, any of the Hobbit storylines, honestly, aren't as strong in my opinion.
See, I would say like cutting back to Frodo and Sam isn't my problem. It's when it cuts to Pippin and Merry.
When they're with the trees, it gets kind of boring.
Like I don't give a shit about that.
It takes a long time.
Sam is probably my favorite character in the movie, so I'm happy to see him. But I don't give a fuck about Pippin and Merry.
Right.
Anyway. Personally, I think they could have made it better by just not making the Baku boring as fuck. Zephram, Cochrane, and Lily, they ain't.
Right. Agreed.
You can't introduce all these characters into a movie and have them all be blank-ass milquetoast slates.
Yeah.
These people are fucking mayonnaise on white bread.
Yeah, this is I don't give one fuck barely about these people in this movie.
I hate the Baku, honestly.
They're like a pain in the dick. Like the Federation has to deal with this, honestly.
Yeah.
And their planet is cursed as fuck because they live forever. They're like vampires.
It's good. It's good that they live forever.
They've gotten really fucking stupid over 300 years, that's for sure.
You know what is a fun fact? Is if they would have just mentioned anything about the kids leaving the planet.
Yeah.
Anything. There was a million opportunities while Picard was trying to get his dick wet to be there used to be all these children who left for the stars. They didn't understand our way.
Not everybody followed. Not everybody agreed with this way of life, you know.
But they don't do that. No. And they just chase their ass around for 2 hours.
Yeah, the movie suffers hard.
Also, have you noticed how your boobs have started to firm up? Not that we care about such things in this day and age. All the best, Vince Pavey.
That's fucking great. That was a great email.
Thanks for writing in, Vince. I'll see you later. Our next email is from Chris Pittman. Who says, "Hey, Jeff and other guy."
Hi.
Aww. His name's Josh. You guys are always just ignoring him. You guys talked about how you love the Borg Queen as a Star Trek villain, and I have to agree. And I think Star Trek is special because the show sets up rules that make villains harder to take down. You can't usually just kill them.
Yes.
So to you guys, what do you think is the best villain in the canon, and what do you think makes a great Star Trek villain?
That's a really fucking good question.
It really is. It's a tough question, too.
It's super hard to nail down exactly why. All I know is what doesn't work, right? Like villains who are one-offs typically are terrible. And Star Trek is very guilty of this.
The only reason that Khan works so well as a villain is because he had an episode set up.
He had a history like that. And you know, even if you're not a Star Trek fan, he wants revenge, which works great. Yeah. Villains in Star Trek can be circumstance though. In 4, there's no villain. Villain is time, right? Yeah. Villain is we need to get back in time. I guess the probe could be the villain, but the probe is just an inanimate thing, as far as we know. It's just a thing. But what doesn't work is when you just like jerry rig a fucking villain like the new Khan.
Really, the best Star Trek villain to me is probably Gul Dukat.
He is
at least
fucking
to a
hateable.
point.
He is hateable.
Yeah, but he's also super charismatic and charming.
He is. I agree. I think he might be the best Star Trek villain.
To a point. There's a point when his character goes completely off the fucking rails.
Literally. He goes completely...
Yeah.
He gets crazy.
And I mean, when he's crazy at the beginning, that's like heartbreaking or whatever. This is slightly spoilers. But then he goes like legitimately like terrible writing crazy.
Yeah, he gets multiple personalities.
Yeah, he gets completely fucking flanderized into a terrible character. But for a long time, he is like the best Star Trek villain.
Yeah, he's really good as a villain.
Weyoun is also a really great villain. DS9 knocks it out the park with villains.
Yeah, DS9 is great.
I wish I could remember the name of the recurring Romulan villain from TNG.
Oh, Admiral... Fuck. What's his fuck? Mike knows it. He loves those episodes. We talked about one of those on Syndication Station once.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Rip. Yeah, Admiral Sotek or something like that. I don't fucking know.
I wish I remembered. But he's like fucking amazing too, is why I can't, and it sucks that I can't remember. And then there's that villain that I really enjoyed because I understood his motivation. Fucking
Admiral Jarek, I think is his
Jarek.
name.
That might be right.
Yeah, Aladair Jarek.
I'm trying to think of the Ferengi who Picard killed his son.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
Because that was a great episode.
Yeah, that's
it actually made like the Ferengi seem like a little threatening for once.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the best Star Trek villain is Circumstance. Like,
oh yeah.
Being in a position where you have to survive, or bigger issues being the villain, like preventing a war or like starting a war. You know, and those are the best villains.
It works like real life in that a lot of times in real life you can't just point out a villain.
Right, you can't blame somebody.
It's circumstance,
right?
What led to that?
It's a million different things happening that led to that point.
Yeah. Hopefully that answered.
I hate the one-off shit. I fucking hate what's his name from 2009. That character sucks fucking dicks.
Nero.
Also, they named him fucking Nero. Like, wow, way to go.
Because Rome.
Because Romulus. Because get it?
Get it?
You guys get it yet?
It's like Earth, but spacemen. Get it?
Nero, he was crazy, and that's a thing about history I know. I read it once on a Wikipedia.
I don't like any of the Star Trek villains from the JJ verse.
They're stupid. Even what's his name, who I love, from 3.
Oh, from Beyond.
What's his real name? Fuck. The British guy. He's
Hardcastle. I don't remember his name, actually.
Fuck. Oh, fuck.
Luther was the name of his character.
Yeah, he's like
that.
Yeah, that was a stretch. Like, that whole thing.
Why can't I fucking remember his name? Idris Elba.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, who's fucking amazing.
Yeah, he's great. He's phenomenal.
He does
as an
the
actor.
best he can with that character, but the character's still dumb as fuck.
It's just a lame.
It's the lamest part of Beyond, and I actually like Beyond, so there's gonna be butting heads. I can't wait for it. But
can't polish a turd, Jeff.
Hopefully,
just like this.
You can't polish a turd, but you can grow a beautiful flower out of it.
That's a good way to look at it. I'll accept that.
That email was signed Chris Pittman and had P.S. I like Jeff better because he interacts with me on Twitter.
Damn. Do you talk to me on Twitter, Pittman?
You can't just fucking call somebody out like that.
I don't think anyone's named Pittman has ever tweeted at me, so I don't know.
I don't know.
Don't blame me for your fear of tweeting at me. I'm not part of this.
Some people are just responding to the fact that I'm always talking about how nobody gives a shit about me.
I do.
I'm glad you do.
I care. I'm like Luke Skywalker. I care.
I care.
I love you. Kiss me.
Our next email is from John Carberry.
Nice. I think I know him.
I think you do know him, as a matter of fact.
John.
He says, hey guys, first off, I just wanted to say I love the First Contact episode.
Thank you.
Thank you. First Contact was easily one of my favorite movies as a kid. I even owned the special edition VHS of it.
That is special.
It's a special edition, all right, because it's special to you. Listening to the show got me to sit down and watch the film again, and it was so great to see the film hold up in almost every way.
Yeah.
In fact, I even found myself shedding a tear at the end when Zephyr Cochrane shook hands with the Vulcan.
Nice.
Star Trek has always presented a future to aspire to for me, and seeing Zeph break bread with an alien visitor during these ever-divisive times made me emotional, and reminded me that we still have to strive for a future like that, and to try to better ourselves, as Captain Picard says. You fucking get it, John. You get it.
John knows.
Smart guy. M-Class Podcast has really gotten me back into Trek. I grew up around it as my granny was a huge fan and always had it on.
He's Irish, so he says granny.
Oh, old Gran.
Old Gran.
Over the years, it kind of slipped out of my watching habits, and thanks to lines like, you just need a butt to do anal, it's back into my wheelhouse.
I don't remember who said that.
I don't either, but it's beautiful.
It sounds like maybe something I would say, but I have no memory of this.
I don't remember. I think it was you. I do think it was you.
It sounds like me.
I do take issue with you claiming to have the most Irish Star Trek show, though, as M-Class isn't even the most Irish show that Josh has appeared on, as he's been on Sidecast with yours truly, who is so Irish I have a massive inferiority complex that manifests itself in sarcasm towards the achievements of others, when really I should be happy for them. Basically, I'm from Ireland, and that's what we do.
Yeah, he's very Irish.
Well, guys... Oh, go ahead.
No. He says things that I don't know what they are, which is super Irish. Like he's speaking English, but I'm like, I don't know what that is.
That's super British in any way, like the whole British Isles.
Yeah, they come up with the whole... Every British person comes up with new slang terms every 2 years.
They do it so that we don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
It's smart, really. It's real smart.
Well, guys, keep the episodes coming, as it's a blast to listen in. Also, Josh, next time you come to hang out on Sidecast, bring Jeff. We can engage in another never-ending DS9 conversation. They usually happen every 2 episodes.
I would love it. Let's do it.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Just tell us when.
Yeah, man. Thanks for emailing us,
John. Yeah,
thank you, John.
It's good to hear from you, John.
And Sidecast rules. Everyone should go listen to it.
Yeah, go listen to Sidecast. Maybe we'll be on it.
Do it.
Maybe the next time you listen in, we'll be on it.
Maybe.
Our next email is from Colin Brady.
Yeah, I know him too.
Oh God, you know everybody.
I just know him from the internet though. I don't really know him.
Okay, I don't really fucking know him. Ugh.
I just know the name.
Disgusting. Puh.
Puh, puh.
Hey guys, it's your boy who can't stick the landing to his emails.
Nice.
My question today is about everyone's favorite character, Wesley Crusher.
Oh boy.
Yeah, everybody fucking loves him.
Yeah.
Before I started watching TNG, I had heard complaint after complaint about Wesley Crusher being an annoying little shit who added nothing to the show. However, when I watched it, I was binge watching it on Netflix. So I was flying through a whole season every week or two. As a result, Wesley was gone from the show pretty soon, and any episodes with him being a whiny little bitch were replaced by a new episode immediately after. Do you think the advent of streaming services like Netflix actually help characters like Wesley because viewers aren't forced to linger on how much of a piece of shit they are for weeks at a time before seeing a new episode?
It only works if you have a character like Wesley Crusher who isn't in every episode.
Yeah. If he was in every single episode as like a major part,
it would be horrible. Also, Wesley Crusher, the character, is infinitely superior to Will Wheaton, the character, meaning Will Wheaton, the made-up puppet that he is in real life.
Jesus Christ. Wesley Crusher is horribly annoying because he's surrounded by all these characters that are far more interesting than him.
Right.
But Gene Roddenberry is, like, obsessed with self-inserting.
Yeah.
So Gene Wesley Roddenberry invented Wesley Crusher, and he forced him into every episode as the main part.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm watching, all I'm thinking is, man, I would really love to be focusing on literally any other character. Can we get a fucking, like, Guinan episode? I don't care.
This fucking spaceship seems pretty cool. Too bad I have to watch this 16-year-old jerk-off fuck everything up every couple episodes.
Yeah. I feel like you bring up a good point in that you don't have to, like, that's not all you get for the week.
Right.
Like, when I was a kid and an episode came on and Wesley Crusher was on it and shit,
it sucked.
That's all I got for the week.
Yeah, you had to wait till next Saturday.
Which is fucked.
Which is a long time when you're, like, 9.
Yeah, that's a lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a great point, too. I think, though, like, any lesser show would have that character on it all the time in some capacity, but Star Trek's not like that. It's just a great show. It's like Star Trek like had these like I don't know how to describe it. Like it had these like it was just a lightning in a bottle. Like it just worked. I don't know how else to explain it.
As soon as Wesley was gone, it worked a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, they got rid of the piston that was not functioning properly.
Yeah.
They like replaced it.
They had lightning in a bottle, and Wesley Crusher was the fucking cork. When they got rid of it, they unleashed it onto the world.
Unleashed the lightning.
That sounds so badass.
Yeah.
Also, is Jeff blocked by Will Wheaton on Twitter? I know Josh is. Thanks for all you do, Colin Brady.
Thank you.
I don't know. Let me find out.
I don't know if I still am. I'm assuming I am.
I'm gonna go to Twitter.
I used to tweet like really crazy shit to Will Wheaton.
Let's see.
I'm totally
no.
blocked.
Oh shit, I'm not. All right, tweet to Will Wheaton. At Will Wheaton, go fuck yourself, you tiny dicked prick.
That might work.
Tweet.
Oh, P.S. You're so shitty on the new MST3K.
I feel a little bad that I sent that because, you know, I don't know this man, but fuck it.
You'll just get blocked and your life will be better anyway.
I just had to make sure.
Dude.
Our last email.
Oh, sweet.
Is from Donovan Knowles.
Nice name.
Who says, hello, Josh, who I've followed since Continue, and
Hi.
Jeff, who I know I could trust because you have a beard.
There it is.
How's it going? Hello. Since I finally noticed that this podcast was on iTunes, I can listen to them and not put it off.
Excellent.
Yeah, cool. I've also actually never watched a Star Trek movie, though I'm pretty sure my parents brought me to Insurrection as a kid, but all I remember is Picard walking through the Windows XP desktop.
Wait, what? What part is that?
I don't know.
The Windows XP desktop. I don't remember that part.
Maybe it's when they're like running through the hills?
Okay, alright. Maybe that's what he's... Okay, I got you.
Anyways, fun podcast, and I'm looking forward to you two ripping into the new movies. You guys also hate Will Wheaton, more than I do, since you've been personally victimized by him, so that's just frosting on the cake.
Personally victimized? Did I ever tell you, I went to New York Comic Con, like, in 12 or some shit, and we got, like, these, like, VIP passes, because we, like, knew the guy who, like, ran it or whatever, and, like... he took us around to meet, like, all these celebrities, and, like, we met, like, Sarah Jean Underwood, and we met a bunch of porn stars, and,
Sounds good.
And he was like, do you guys want to go meet Will Wheaton? And it was, like, me and Nick, and like, we looked at each other, and Nick was like, that's not a good idea. And I was like, yeah, I don't think that's a great idea.
Fun fact for Josh. I'm also the guy who runs the out-of-context fantasy fiction blog on Tumblr.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I think neatly segs into my next question. When you two mutually fire each other, will that be when Mike Sadorf rises from the ashes, or at least is released from wherever Josh was keeping him in that one episode?
He's in a bottle in my living room. He's like a genie, and he owes me one last wish.
He does look like a genie.
He does.
I will say that.
He does. Especially when he sculpts that beard, man. That's a genie beard.
It's true.
That's a beard of a djinn.
He is a djinn.
Djinn,
That's
man.
their word. You can't say that word.
How many genies are left? Probably like 2.
Mike Sadorf and somebody out there.
Somebody else.
Double anyways. I hope this email isn't lost in the deluge of other ones you get.
So passive aggressive. I love it.
That's it. That's all the emails we got. I read them all.
That's the most passive aggressive ending to an email. Dude, emails are the most passive aggressive form of communication, and that kid just upped the ante of passive aggressiveness. Boom.
Thanks for writing in.
Thank you.
I guess when we mutually fire each other, Mike Sadorf will rise from the grave.
Sure. I mean, maybe. You never know.
I think if anybody's gonna get fired from this podcast, it's gonna be me.
I don't think anybody's gonna get fired from anything.
Josh, once we get to fucking Star Trek Beyond, Josh is gonna be like, "That's it."
No, if
You're
we
done.
survive Into Darkness, we're good. It's
Into
like in a
Darkness, we're gonna be
marriage.
on
Like
the
if you can
same-
survive a really bad fight, you're good.
In the Darkness, we're gonna be on the same page.
I know.
Star Trek Beyond is when we're gonna be on slightly opposing sides.
But it's gonna be like we went to war. Like it's gonna be like we have to watch a horrible. I'd rather watch Schindler's fucking List, which is maybe one of the greatest movies ever made.
Yeah, it's an amazing movie.
Right.
I was about to say,
But it's fucking sad.
yeah, it's unbelievably
It's
depressing.
like it'll fuck your whole week up sad. I would rather watch that and fuck my whole week up than watch Into Darkness and fuck my 2 hours up.
fuck your whole life up.
Dude, fuck that. Oh my god.
We'll have been in the trenches together at that point.
It's war, man.
We've been covering each other in the foxhole at that
Yeah.
point. Covering each other's foxholes, if you know what I'm saying.
Kissing in the don't ask, don't tell.
Don't ask, do ask, do tell.
Do
baby.
ask, fuck me, please. That's what it should be.
You know what? If you would like to have your email read on the air on M-Class Podcast that goes out to over 50 planets in the Federation,
Whoa, that's pretty good.
it's like 1% probably.
Well, it's like 33.3% because they're over 150.
There you go. We're doing pretty well. We're getting out there.
A third is not bad.
If you want your email read on the show, then you can send it to mclassemail@gmail.com.
Write it down. Send us emails.
Don't send it to mclasspodcast.
Yeah,
at
someone took
gmail.com.
that shit.
mclassemail@gmail.com. And also, if you'd like to just talk to us directly, you can do it on Twitter.
Dude, don't be afraid of me.
At mclasspodcast. Don't fear Josh. He's scary on the outside, but on the inside, he's full of love.
I just play a mean person on TV.
On the TV box.
I'm not mean. People think
No.
I'm mean.
Josh
I'm mean
is
if
a
you're
great
mean
guy.
to me, I'll be mean to you.
Yeah, if you're a
but-
dickhead, Josh will tell you.
Yeah. I don't got time for not telling you how you're I'm also a redhead, so fuck off.
It's fire in the head, fire in the butt, right?
Fire you on the head, don't fuck with me. That's what they say.
It's red in the head, fire in the bed.
I always said fiery on the head, fiery in the bed.
Yeah. He fucks real good. Real good.
Real good, real good.
Hey ladies, I fucks real good.
Have you heard about it? Have you heard about it?
Just ask all the broads down on Broad Street.
Or that's why they call it that, because it's all the titties.
They call it that because they got a lot of vaginas there.
They got like a big old pussies. I don't know, is that a thing that they said?
Large vaginas is what they have there. That's
They're
fine.
so big.
They gotta be big for me, you know what I'm saying?
Big for me is small for me. What? Help.
This has gone too far.
I'm having a
I think.
stroke. Help me.
This has gone way too far.
It's going off the rails.
I would like to thank the Academy. Now, I'd like to thank all you guys for listening.
Yeah, thank
we don't
you.
have a big followership because Josh doesn't talk about this on any of his popular things.
I try to. It's hard to get it in.
I know. It's
I
okay,
talked about it
Josh.
on the Continue Quest episodes sometimes.
Did
Because
you?
Paul was watching Star Trek. He's watching. But he's doing it like the cheater way, where he has like a guide and it tells
Who's
him.
Paul?
He's like some like Indian kid that I do a show with, or whatever the hell he is. I don't know.
No one famous is ever going to be on this podcast, by the way. People keep asking me that.
Oh, who would be famous?
People keep asking me, like, when's Will Wheaton going to be on your podcast? Or, like, when are you going to get a celebrity guest? When are Paul or Nick going to be on the podcast?
Oh, they would be on it. They would do it. Paul would definitely do it.
Well, maybe one day. Maybe Mike will come back one day. We can have him on.
We'll have to wait for Paul when he when we do the episodes, because he's like a TNG guy. He likes TNG.
That'll be a long fucking time from now.
Unless we start doing like alternating.
That might be a good idea.
We could do a couple episodes of TOS and then go to whatever, you know. Like
we could just do like every week. We could just alternate.
Right, we could do that.
Yeah, that might get confusing.
Might mix it up a little bit.
The episode titles are the title of the episode, and I could just put like M Class Podcast TNG.
Like how we do it for
Counter
Continue
Farpoint.
when we play like a Nintendo game, we put like NES, right?
Yeah. We might do that. Look out for that, everybody.
Look out. It's coming to you tomorrow.
Don't forget about No Context M Class's big giveaway.
Yeah, enter it. Right?
Yeah.
Do make a thing. Make a fucking thing.
Enter that shit. Also, I don't know, watch Continue.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Listen to the Rider Club Radio.
Yeah, definitely do those things. Do
like
both of those.
Tokusatsu and shit.
Was that cartoon amaze?
It's called Hentai, Dad.
And it's art.
Let's just repeat our tweets from 3 days ago.
That's basically like the material that
That is our podcast. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you then. Bye.
Bye.